Three, two, one. All right, welcome back to the IMNerd podcast, guys. We're here for episode 13. My name is Freeway. I'm here with my co-host Kenny, and we have another special guest today. Our special guest today is all right. Well, fuck me.
What? I was co-signing. I can't co-sign?
Fuck you. All right. I'm going to do this over. Okay.
No.
This will be in a blooper reel.
Your intro.
All right. 3, 2, 1. Welcome back to the IMNerd podcast, guys. We're here for episode 13. My name is Freeway, and I'm here with my co-host Kenny, and we have a special guest today whose name precedes him. Our special guest today is Tyree Tinsley, two-time YCS Champion, several Yugioh tops, and all that good stuff. Tyree, why don't you introduce yourself and tell us a little bit about...
Well, you just did a lot of that for me, but... My name is Tyree, but I'm happy to be here.
Yep, Tyree's a listener of the podcast. He's also a fellow nerd. He likes a lot of the same things that we do. So how about we start with something really quick? So for people who, I guess, don't know you, or even if they do, fuck it, they have to hear it anyway. So you won 2 YCSs, and I guess we'll just go to the very first one. So before you won a YCS, have you ever topped a YCS?
No, that's the funny part. That was
so you're like me,
being my first time. Yeah.
Oh, okay, I remember that was a thing that we shared in common. When you won, I think that was your first top as well, and then you topped and won the event, and then I did the same thing, and you were like really close. I feel like I won the last event in 2010.
Unfortunately, that's the only thing similar because like you ended up topping a lot after you won, and me, it took me like a straight year.
Okay, well, hold on. You ended up winning twice, so if I could trade a bunch of tops for your second win, believe me, I would. Okay, believe me, I would. Yeah. So you won. What was that event? It wasn't Providence, was it?
Yeah, the first one was Providence. Yeah,
it was Providence. Okay, my memory is actually coming back to me. 2011 Providence.
Yep.
And what deck were you playing?
Tengu Plants. That's what it was called back then.
Yes, it was definitely Tengu. So why were you playing Tengu Plants? Tell us about that. Tell us about that event. Like, what was it like? Give us the atmosphere. What led up to
everything, like leading up to it, or like
we're here to talk, man. Let's hear it.
Okay, so that whole event was an accident, honestly. So it started the 2 weeks prior. I went to a regional of Plants. At that point, I just knew it was like the best deck. So I ended up, because back then I just looked at like, was it metagame or Yu-Gi-Oh! Card, whatever. I just knew it was the best deck for topping with it.
Yeah.
So a week before, I went to a regional, and I ended up meeting like Thomas Bo there at that regional. Like, you know who that is?
I know who Thomas Bo is.
So yeah, I ended up meeting him at that regional. I don't think I topped it, but then like the week after that, I was talking with my friend and over text messaging, and we were like kind of like flirting with the idea of going to Rhode Island. He said, "Oh, I actually have that week off." So I was like, "What the heck?" So then we hit up like a few more friends. I hit up Thomas, and mind you, it's kind of weird that I hit up Thomas because I only knew him for like a week, so that was kind of awkward. But so I ended up hitting up him and a few other friends, Antonio and Andrew, and they ended up happening to be off as well. So we ended up just going to Rhode Island, or deciding to go, and I spent like the whole entire week going to my card shop testing Tengu plant mirrors every single day, leading up to when we left Friday. There's basically a lot of play testing as plants. As far as how the event went,
what was your record in Swiss? Like, what did you play against? Do you remember all that stuff?
I remember vaguely. I remember I played against 4 samurai decks round 1. I mean, day one.
Day one. Wow, 4 samurais.
I actually played against Jared Randolph. Actually, that's when I first met him. He was playing Light Swarm back then. I played him.
Is this when, real quick? Is this when was Gateway? Is this when Samurais had all the gateways?
No, they got nerfed.
Yeah.
Okay.
After that, luckily,
I think they had one gateway though. Still, right? I feel like it was still one gateway.
They had one.
Because when Gateway was on 3, that shit was not fair.
Yeah, well, if Gateway was on 3, we probably would have all been playing that shit.
Oh yeah, like 100%.
Yeah.
So what else did I play? I played against Sarosh Shabiri, and he's playing Fable.
Oh yeah, that deck was so ridiculous, but it was too complicated to pilot.
Yeah, I lost against Paul Leviton. He was playing Agents. I
Yep.
didn't know really what that deck did, really, like, because it just came out actually that
That was
weekend,
the
I think.
beginning of Agents, right? That was literally the first event, I feel
Yeah,
like.
I barely knew what that deck did. I didn't
They
know
didn't even
when
have.
he summoned Hyperion. So what?
I said they didn't even have Gachi Gachi Gantetsu or anything back then.
Nah, I didn't have any of those because the Seeks monsters weren't a thing, so
Yeah.
I didn't have any of that. But I lost to him. I went X one day one. My only loss was Paul.
Okay.
Then I lost the first round day two to that Tengu Birdman deck that that random deck. I don't even know what it was really called. It was the one that topped Orlando the watches before that. I don't even know what the deck was called. It was just Tengu Birdman. Like
Yeah, I
they
guess
bring
you
like
just
Reiki.
summon Tengu, then bounce it to your hand with Birdman, and you get another Tengu out.
In my opinion, the deck wasn't good.
It's
Yeah, in my
not
opinion, the
good.
deck wasn't good, but I lost.
Everything that's
But
yeah,
Is
that
that the one
deck
with all
sounds
the
awful.
monsters in it? Is that the
Yeah.
one
Monster Mash?
deck?
Was it a
Like,
Monster Mash deck?
it
Like
wasn't.
So I
I
remember there
don't.
being a Birdman deck that had just all. It was
40
basically all
monsters.
monsters.
There was one with 40 monsters,
Yeah.
and they played
Maybe.
like Gallus. That was a Gallus deck, like Gallus the Star
Yeah.
Beast.
Oh no, it wasn't that. I know he played Spelling Traps.
Okay.
The deck was terrible. The only reason I lost is like I drew really the worst I've ever drawn like with plants the entire weekend. Like
Yeah.
it was really bad. Then I played Gravekeepers in a bowl. I lost game one.
Ooh. Ooh, it was
Game
almost over
two.
for you. It was almost over for you, Tyree.
Yeah, game two I win. Game three, he draws his hand. I'm like, obviously, I'm just saying, I'm like, please, if you, I look at my hand, it's like, I remember it was Cyber Dragon, Caius, Warning, it was like a tuner, Tengu. I was like, I literally, like MST, I was like, I win the game as long as you have roll tribute. Like, I was like, please, God, like, do not roll tribute. My heart was beating. I was like, please do not roll tribute. And the only thing he did, he was like, discard comment. I was like, here we go. Like, I'm never tribute. So, like, he like soul rolled it too, which like really annoyed me because like he was just like set a back row, set a back row, activate Knuckle Valley. I was like, bro, here we go. Like,
Yep.
so then he just set a monster and pass, and I just like grounded it out like
Nice.
Cyber guys and just win. So, as far as top 32 one, I played Thomas from 32. Don't remember that match too well, but I beat him.
You played who?
I played Wilson. Thomas.
Oh,
Same person that rode. He rode with me actually. So
yeah, I was about to say
like,
you came there with him. That's
yeah,
interesting.
so that was actually funny. We both talked. But I played him, beat him. Then I played Wilson Sang in 16. I beat him. Then I played against the Herald match, which was like the most ridiculous match I think I've ever played before in my life. Because
Why is that?
game one, he wins with Herald. Game two, I forgot exactly what happened, but I ended up winning. But game three, it gets to the point to where I have a match called Android on the board. He has a Gozen match. Where's it rivalry? One of those rivalry or Gozen with a Herald up. And
Damn, you won this game?
Yeah, so
Yeah,
here's
that
what
sounds
happened.
not fun.
Yeah, so here's what happened. He
Yeah.
had like 5 cards at the end. I was like, I realized I got to the point when he flipped the thing. I think it was rivalry or a Gozen match. So like, regardless, when he flipped it up, I realized I cannot win because I was Andrew on board. I was like, I can't summon anything.
Yeah.
I can't win the game because he has like 6 cards in hand. Like, so like I just draw, like set monster, and I was like gain 6 or gain 8, however many life points Android
Yeah, I
gains.
think
I
it's
forgot.
600 for every psychic.
Yeah, I proceeded to do that for I believe it's like 7 or 8 turns. He just doesn't negate anything. He just doesn't negate for some reason. I don't know why.
So he
So
could
like,
choose at any point to be like, when that activates,
yeah, he
kill
could choose to win the
Android.
game at any point. He could choose at any point to just win the game because I don't have any outs in my deck at that point. Like there's 0 outs in my deck.
Yep.
Like the minute he negates, I have nothing to do. So like he gets to the point to where he realizes all of a sudden he has 1 card left in his deck, and I go all the way back to like 80 something 100.
Yeah.
Because
So
I was
are you higher than him at this point too, I assume?
Yeah, so I think I was higher, but what ends up happening is he realizes he has 1 card left, so he summons a guy to kill the I think it was like Hyperion or something. Kill Android, top my face now, and I still can't do anything. I set a monster and pass my turn. He draws his last card in his deck. He kills my board and he attacks. I'm thinking I was game. And I punched into my calculator and my life points at 100. And I double check. I was like, wait, 100. The judge checks it. He checks it again. I check it again. He checks it like 3 more times. The judge checks it again. And the judge is like, yeah, he's at 100.
Wow.
So he actually ends up decking out
Holy
to
shit.
lose that game.
So you won
Yeah, that
with
was
100 life points in a situation where you really were not supposed to win at all.
yeah. I should not have won for like he looked like at any point in the game if he negates that Android, I lose on the spot.
You're just
But
dead.
he
So can I tell you a story that I have from when I won? This is really creepy now because me and you have very similar stories. So I won my first YCS top as well.
yeah. Yep.
But the story you just told me, I have a similar story when I won. So I
I was
played
thinking the
against
same thing. When you told the story, I was thinking of the story you told me.
Yeah, I played against the guy in top 8. So in top 8 of YCS Atlanta, I played against Dali. He was running Lightsworn. And I feel like this was game 3. I'm just going to say. In game 3, I am at like the lowest life points possible. My life points are so low. And I have a solemn judgment. And he goes, summon Aaron. I'm like, sure, that's fine. And he goes, Aaron attack for 1600. I go, that's also fine. He goes, activate Chalice and damage step. So Chalice increases her attack by 400, so she goes to 2,000. So
Yep.
he's like, that's game. And I look down at my calculator, and there's a judge sitting next to me too. I look down at my calculator, and I go, I have myself at 150. And he goes, I thought you were at 2,000. I said, no, I'm at 2,150. And so the judge is like, yeah, I show Frazier at 2,150. So he tries to set the Chalice back face down. The judge is like, no, you played the Chalice. Like you activated the Chalice is used. Frazier took 2,000. So now I'm at 150. So he tries to do something else, and I ended up going Solemn Judgment. So I go to 75 life points, and then I top deck a Gravekeeper's Assailant. I summon it. I attack over. On the end phase, he gets a wolf, and I go draw, and I draw for turn. The problem was I didn't have any monsters this game, but I drew a Gravekeeper's Assailant. I summon Assailant. I attack wolf. I put it in defense mode, and I kill it. So he draws for turn, and he doesn't have like an out to the Assailant who's 2,000 attack because of Necro Valley. So he just summons Lumina, I think. So now he has like Lumina Aaron on the field. And he passes, and I draw another monster. I draw like Commandant, and I'm like, attack both your guys, kill them. And so now I'm like winning by a lot because I have these 2 monsters that are like 2,000 attack, and I end up coming back and winning. And I proceeded to go and win the event. But I literally won that game with 75 life points. Yes, I won the game with 75 life points, and it was all because of essentially he computed, I guess, the wrong, like the math wasn't mathing. He computed some shit.
Yeah,
I don't know why he thought I was at 2,000, but he forgot when Garoth attacked me that Garoth, I guess, is not 2,000 attack and the Garoth is 1,850. So that's probably why I had 2,150 left. That's the only thing I could think about. But
it's still kind of crazy that he just like not only forgot where you were at, he just decided to try to go for game and like it just completely botched that. Like,
it's actually crazy that how that ended, and I always thought people was 75. Yeah, he could have kept the Chalice, and he might have won that really from that. He screwed up.
Oh shoot!
What's wild is I feel like when most people are about to go for game, they go, "What are you at?"
Yes.
Like, a lot of times somebody will say, "Like, what are you at?"
Exactly.
Right.
Like if someone asks me that question, I think I'm gonna die.
Right. If somebody says, "What are you at?" I'm like, "Oh, I'm dead."
I'm just like, come on, man, don't kill me.
Right. I get nervous when people start saying, "What's life?" When people say, "What's life?" and they're like thinking about their turn.
The scariest is when they draw for turn. Like, what are you at? I'm just like, bro, what did you draw?
What did you draw?
You're like, why are you murderous all of a sudden? Why do you want the game to end?
Exactly. They sit up in their chair. I'm just like, what's going on?
They start shuffling their hand real fast. They start spreading graveyards and looking around.
Oh, nah.
The worst is when they pick up their calculator and they just start typing numbers on the calculator really fast. And then they put the calculator down.
Punch numbers in their calculator silently. I'm just like, bro, like, let me see. Like, what
numbers are you typing in? So what did it feel like winning that first YCS, Tyree? Like, what was it like having traveled to this event with some of your friends, having play tested for the
honestly,
event?
It felt surreal, honestly, when they called my name out in 32. Like, at that point, I was like, in my head, I was like, honestly, if I make it to 16, I don't care. Like, it was like my 4th event or something, like 3rd or 4th event overall. Like, I went to like a handful of events before that. So, like, the whole, like, competitive and, like, how hard it was to, like, top and win these events wasn't really like it didn't really set into me because I only went to, the only thing I was like did before that was like a whole bunch of regionals I went to, but like not a lot of events, so I didn't really get it. Winning just didn't really hit me. It hit me, but I don't know how to explain it. It was like kind of a surreal feeling when I won.
I know what you mean, though.
Because you're saying you didn't go through that much of a struggle and a grind, so when you got it, you just kind of got it, right? Like it wasn't you didn't claw your way up there.
Yeah, it wasn't like I didn't appreciate it, but it was like I realized later down the line like how lucky I ended
Yes,
up getting that
yes,
I won. Like,
yes.
'cause,
I
like
can vouch for that as well. It's
it also
very, very
didn't feel,
difficult.
it didn't feel real because like everyone's texting me on the car back, congratulations, like oh my god. So like it's like other people realized more so than me like how ridiculous of an accomplishment that actually was.
Yeah, we didn't
Like
realize it at
'cause
the
I had a lot
time.
of friends who like played like since like a few of my friends like Tyrone, like one of my friends whose name was Tyrone, he played like all the way back in like 2008, 2007, and like he was talking to me. He was one of the people who kind of like try to like instill in me like yo like you won a jump like that was like that's like a really big deal
Yeah, no, it
because I
is.
was like
How, if you don't mind me
Yeah, it's
asking,
crazy.
how old were you when you won that first win?
what like 17 I think 16 17.
Oh
So,
damn.
Oh my God, you were so young. I didn't
yeah,
know
I had to
that.
get yeah I had to get a guardian actually to go to nationals because I couldn't go by myself when I got that far.
Wow, I
I
never knew that.
remember that.
I was just
Yeah.
happy to see another black guy win a YCS.
Let's go.
I was just fucking. I literally saw you win. I was like, I don't know who that is, and I just
It's
was.
funny,
I
like
was happy.
the finals match wasn't even like hard because like apparently the dude was a savage cheater, so like, that match is
Who did you play in the
like
finals?
Infernity, like the Infernity dude.
I don't know. I'm gonna look him up.
I
Hold on.
remember
Go ahead. You can keep
his
talking.
name
I'm
was
sure.
Ronaldo something.
Yeah, when he said he doesn't care about the deck. He wants to know who the cheater is.
Ronaldo something. I don't know. All I know is like during the match, the judges kept telling him to shuffle differently, shuffle the right way, and they kept on saying that like if you don't shuffle correctly, we're going to give you a game loss. Like he kept shuffling some weird way, like.
Oh wow.
Because Drell kept saying that. He was like, because Drell was one of the judges right there. He was like, so he's like, you need to shuffle parallel to the table. I didn't know what was going on. Judges were like
Damn.
adamant.
He was trying to do a magician's trick.
I
Yes,
found
that's
out later he probably was cheater because like he had like 19 monsters in an Inferno deck with Mystic Tomato in it. So like you kind of have to know. Like,
what the hell?
he
19
was,
monsters and
yeah, he was
infinities.
not good.
Yeah, that
Yeah,
seems a little
you
sketch.
can really see him. You can see his deck list on the website. I believe he had
Yeah, no, I'm
Mystic
looking at it.
Tomato in it.
And you're right. His name is Ronaldo. I think I know him though.
I was like, why do you have Mystic Tomato in your deck?
He actually summoned it too, but like turn one.
Yeah, he summoned it in attack for 14. I was like, scrap dragon, I think, or something. I was like, I'm not popping. I'm not attacking.
Yeah, like what are you doing, my guy?
Yeah, that match was not hard. Like,
Yeah, so your finals match was actually super easy. Mine is against one of my fucking best friends and the guy who actually made the damn Gravekeeper deck. I'm sitting there thinking the whole time, it felt like a local because we play each other all the time, but it also felt
that
really
is crazy how you literally faced one of your like best friends growing up, like in the finals of YCS.
He was an obstacle when I was a kid too. Like McCabe was an actual. I talk about it all the time. He was an obstacle that I couldn't overcome for a while.
That's literally like like something out of you hear from the Yu-Gi-Oh TV show. Like,
Yo, it really is.
That's literally something you hear from the show.
Like, it's actually just absurd, and yeah, it's just such a surreal feeling. But even when you win, it doesn't feel like you won. I know what you mean when you say that. It's just such a surreal feeling. Even when you wake up the next day, you almost feel like it was a dream. Like that next day in the hotel.
It still didn't feel real, like for like a few days. It just didn't feel real.
Yeah, you kind of look at the trophy and you keep remembering the weekend, and everyone keeps congratulating you and writing congrats and messaging you congrats.
Especially like when I went to locals the next week, like I was like, it was just, I don't know, like thinking back to it, like it was just so crazy. Like,
you know what's fucked up?
Because the ride back was super long too, so like it was just like trying to take it all in.
The only thing I'm thinking about right now is a new Yu-Gi-Oh season about Frazier. It's a little Yu-Gi-Oh black kid with that crazy Yu-Gi-Oh hair. It's Frazier, but with crazy Yu-Gi-Oh hair. And Sean McCabe's Kaiba.
Yeah, that's so crazy. I don't think it's ever because like just facing someone like literally because I remember reading your articles like how like in the podcast how you said like Sean McCabe was like the first like, huge obstacle we had. So just facing him in the finals again, it's just like
like we literally talked on Skype, or I'm sorry, it wasn't Skype, it was AIM. We literally talked on AIM every single night. AOL Instant Messenger, for those who don't know, people who are probably way too young to have lived during those dark times, but AIM was the shit back in the day. That was Facebook Messenger before it was Discord before Discord. And we talked every single night. I was in college, and it was a part of my ritual. You stay up in college, you stay up late as hell. You stay up till like 3 a.m. every night. So we would just stay up and talk. And I mean, Yu-Gi-Oh was life. That was life back then. Like,
No,
but
yeah.
yeah. So what did you play anything special in your Tengu Plants deck when you won? Like,
I
was there
wish I could
anything?
say yes. The special. Well, it's special, but it's not good special. So I remember I sided a card called Ally Salvo, which is not good. What the card does is when this card is destroyed by battle, I think it's by battle. I don't believe it's card effects. You can destroy, or with a light monster, you can destroy exactly two cards in the field. I don't know. The theory was like if
Oh,
I play
I know
against
what you're talking
Agents,
about.
Hero Beat, which wasn't really a deck back then. But the theory was it was good against Agents and Hero Beat, and I could bring it back with Debris Dragons. I think I had like 500 attack. The only problem is Agents are going to blow it up, and it has to destroy two cards in their field. So they just go summon a guy attack. It doesn't
It
trigger.
doesn't do anything,
Um,
right?
it is not. The card was not good. It was really
So
bad.
it punishes
Like when I
overextension, but
played,
it's really bad in a simplified game state.
yeah, or they just summon Hyperion attack, like just pop it, or like have anything. It just the card wasn't good. Like it was good in
Yeah.
theory, but it's just one of the cards like you have to set. It has no attack. It has like 500 attack. You just have to set it and pass your turn. It's not. Card wasn't good. I played Zephyros, I believe. Yeah, Zephyros, because you could bounce it with you could bounce like Call to Harness, Limit Reverses, but those plays never happened. So like the card was also terrible.
Those plays, I love those
plays,
theoretical plays.
yeah, those plays never happened. Those two cards I played, but besides that, it was literally a standard playing deck. Like I don't think there's nothing cool in it. It was super standard. Like I wish I could say there was, but there's nothing cool in that. So it's really standard plants.
So what?
That's all. Just straight up beat everybody. Just outplayed them.
You said what?
Oh no, I just said in response to you saying there was nothing special. I said that's fine. You just straight up beat them, outplayed them all.
Oh yeah, I didn't lose any plant mirrors, and I wasn't close to those. Like that was the one thing I was like really like I was confident even back then was plant mirrors. So
yeah, you just straight up beat everybody. Like I don't need anything special.
Yeah,
yeah, I
was
was
ass whooped.
So you only lost to Paul Levin and playing Agents, and then you lost to what on
that
day 2?
Okay,
yeah, that weird burp. Okay, so after that, you said you didn't top for a while, which I know how that can feel because I didn't top my first YCS after winning either. But my first YCS after winning was kind of sucky. It was the one where 6 samurais were at full power with 3 gateways.
Oh yeah.
So there was no chance really.
At least you have a cop out. Like at least you have something to say about. I was just like Bozo the Clown. I went to nationals just like I misplan. I don't know what I was doing. Then I went to Columbus. No excuses. I literally clown there. I was misplan. Like went to Kansas City. Like same thing
you
there.
everywhere.
I
and these are all events.
These are all events you talk about. Right?
Yeah.
All these events you talk about. All these events you talk about. I'm just gonna put that out there. So.
That's why I'm like, oh shit.
Yeah, always been so. Like, I'm looking back. I remember making so many excuses back then. Like, well, I got so unlucky, or like, why do you have this? Looking back, I was like, I really remember the matches I lost. It was just straight misplays, missiding, just all like 1,000% my fault. So
yep.
That's true. When you do really good.
Right.
I was going to say, when you do really good at something, and then when you don't perform up to what you've done, you start to get either extra hard on yourself or you start blaming it on other things. Like, I shouldn't be losing. Why am I losing? Like, I've already won. Like, I'm getting,
yeah, that's how
I'm better than you.
That's what I was thinking. I was like, you already won, so like, why can't I just top? Like, it shouldn't be, it's not my fault that I'm not topping it. It's everything else's fault.
Yeah, that definitely happens to people.
Yeah, you start to feel like, why is it easier for me to win the event than it is for me to just top an event?
Like, it was like Columbus had no excuse going extra out. Oh shoot, all 3 losses are terrible.
I forget. I didn't top Columbus, and I was really mad because I practiced with Alistair.
Everyone top Columbus. I remember seeing top cut. Everyone top.
Columbus was the craziest top cut. Alistair, Billy breaking the finals, like everyone topped.
It's like Robbie Boyage top, Jeff top, like Thomas top. I was like, yo.
Yeah, the top cut for Columbus was stacked. And I remember losing, and I don't know what I don't even remember how I necessarily lost in Columbus. I just remember losing rounds. I feel like I got dark rolled at some point. Like a dark roll player just rolled me because you know that can just roll the fuck out of you. And I feel I feel like I just got absolutely rolled by some dark roll people. And I remember Brandon Wigley was actually playing that deck at that event, but he ended up, I think he got the DQ, but he was undefeated.
Yeah, he got DQ.
Yeah, but he was like destroying everybody with Dark Roll. I was scared of that deck, and I ended up playing against it and getting destroyed.
I wish I could say that. I lost to Plants, Agents, and all 3 were just my fault. It was bad. That string of like that whole year was just bad. going to event after event after event, X series. Like,
Yeah.
so like,
But then we spin around to 2013, I believe it is. And you won again. I guess before that, we went through a dark period though. So 2012 was the Dark Ages. That's like the Rabbit, Wind Up, Chaos Dragon, and Sector period of Yu-Gi-Oh.
So that's when I topped again. Actually, was the first event that deck was legal. Like those decks like came out when it was Order of Chaos. Actually,
yeah.
Like,
what did you top with?
Wind Ups actually.
Okay, so
which was probably the worst choice looking back for that event because everyone had like 3 Fiendish Chains, Maxis, Effect Failures in their deck.
Yep.
So like looking back, a terrible deck choice. But I got like super lucky because I played against people who didn't know what they're doing all weekend. Literally didn't know what they were doing. To the point to where like I played against one dude who was playing Card Curry. This is like round 5, he's X1, and round 6, and he proceeds to say out loud after I max him, I think windups do better with cards in their deck. So it's his turn 1. He goes off of Card Curry. I draw like 18 cards or something ridiculous.
Oh my god.
He has like 3 burritos and a beret. I MST his back row and he chains limiter removes. So at this point, I was like, what is going on? Yeah, I'm just like, what's going on? So then this is game 3. So then, or game 2 or whatever. So then I obviously win that a turn or 2 later. And he was like, I still think I made the correct play afterwards. I was like, I'm not trying to hear that. So
this guy goes, he plays into Maxi. He plays into Maxi. He gives you a ton of cards.
Turn 1, can attack. Like,
yep. He goes all out, summons his whole field, turn 1, into Maxi. You draw a ton of cards. You go MST your back row. He goes chain limiter removal. And then you're just like, okay.
All his dudes die. Yep. I do some plays, set a million back row, and all of his dudes die in base.
Then you just win.
Yep. Later in the rounds, what was it? It wasn't an Exector player? I forgot what player it was. We activated Dimensional Fissure, cut a back row and passed. I wind up looped him and took 2 hand traps out of his hand. A DD Crow and like a Neko Main King.
You're lying.
After he activated Dimensional Fissure. I'm not lying to you. I wish I was lying.
You didn't hand loop somebody and they dropped a DD Crow out of their hand.
I wish I was lying to you. We activated Dimensional Fissure. And this, I was like, what is going on? I had a heart attack for a minute because I thought Neko Main King still triggered, but it said Sense of the Graveyard. So I was like, okay, we're good. Right.
So for those who don't know,
what's going
on? Dimensional Fissure makes it where you can't use most hand traps, at least back in the day. Sounds like he messed himself up with that.
Yeah, rude bad.
Yeah.
I'm still stuck on the one guy saying I think windups do better with cards in their deck. Like, dog, you gave me 18 cards in my hand.
Yeah, I didn't know what. When he said that, I was like, what is going on? What is about to do? Like, I didn't know what was going on. So like, then he just go off, and I was like, I don't know. I still didn't. I was lost. I was scared when I MST'd his limiter, and he just chained it. I was like, what is going on? What's going on?
I get so confused when people make plays like that there's no logical reason for, and it kind of scares you. It almost puts you on tilt.
Yeah, I was like, what? Then last round I played against Carl Manning. He's running gadgets. We're all X and 1. I'm X1 at this point, playing gadgets, and he has to waste like real cards on Wind Up Rabbit, like double D prison on it. So I just won that match. Then like, who did I play? I played like another dude who thought Macro and Dimensional Fissure are good against Wind Up, so he just sided those in. Like, it's me. It was a Dino Rabbit dude. So like, it just didn't fuck. He just didn't run out of play.
He won't do anything against that deck.
Yeah, I don't know. I think that was because like the deck just came out, so like people didn't really get like how the deck worked really. But I don't know. Like, it is kind of weird. That event was like, because I remember that event, like I also played Barrett in 32, and I got really lucky because I actually looped all 5 cards out of his hand.
Ooh, you drew Pot of Avarice or Monster Reborn?
I drew Reborn, yes. He also
so. Yep, I knew all those tricks.
I do remember. So I feel bad looking back. So I still didn't know what I was doing. So game 2, he goes Rabbit into like, we're grinding. He rabbits into 2 Cabazals and attacks. And I drop Gores. And looking back, I can tell the look on his face is why you're running Gores in your wind-up deck. And back then, my thought process was no one's going to see it coming. Like, that was
and it worked.
Yeah, no, like this shouldn't have worked.
But it worked, and it probably ruined him too. Because Gores is huge.
Gores changed the way people play that game.
I had 3 Fiendish Chains in my deck.
You listen, dog.
What in the world?
It was good enough for
that was bad.
Yeah,
Gores changed the world.
Looking back, I don't know. I felt so bad looking back, but
you know what other card changed the world? Like there's
what?
certain cards that come out and they don't necessarily get banned, but they change the way you play Yu-Gi-Oh forever in some ways.
Yes.
Remember when Cyber Dragon came out? You mentioned Cyber Dragon earlier, and I thought about this. When Cyber Dragon came out, people started playing where if they went first and didn't have a way to deal with Cyber Dragon, they wouldn't summon a monster.
Yeah.
They would just be like, if I summon a monster, you just want to summon Cyber Dragon to kill me. So if I don't have a way to deal with Cyber Dragon, I just won't summon.
And you can't summon Cyber Dragon if I don't have a monster anyway. So it kind of worked out.
Yeah. So
yeah, that's true though.
Cyber Dragon changed the game. Gores changed the way people attack.
I still attack lowest to highest to this day because of Gores.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, same. Yep.
When I play in the old formats where Gores doesn't exist, and I play with my cousin who's just getting into Yu-Gi-Oh! And he'll attack with his highest attack monster first. I know Gores doesn't exist, but I'm like, you got to attack with your lowest attack.
Yeah,
first. You can't.
you
can't attack with your big monster first.
Yeah, you need to start attacking lowest to highest, buddy.
My biggest fear back then was always Thunder King attacking the Gores. That was always my
God. You want to talk about losing the game? That's how you'll lose the game.
Thunder King into Gores is just like, oh.
I feel so bad too because every time somebody is new to Yu-Gi-Oh and they try to Thunder King my Gores, so they'll attack me directly with Thunder King and I'll drop Gores and summon Gores, summon token, and they always go, "Oh, I'll negate," and I'm like, "I'm sorry, but you actually can't do that." And they're like, "Why not?" Thunder King says, "I contribute this card to negate the special summon," and I'm like, "I understand that, but Gores is different." And they're like, "Why?" He says special summon on it. And I'm like, I know. And this is really confusing because it's Yu-Gi-Oh! But there's this thing called inherent special summon and then special summon by an effect. And Thunder King only negates inherent special summons and not the ones that are summoned by an effect. So Gores is summoned by an effect. And then they call a judge on me and they're really upset. And the judge explains the exact same thing I just said verbatim. And the person feels like they're getting cheated. And I feel so fucking bad. And I'm like, they're never going to play Yu-Gi-Oh! Again. And it's this whole thing, and I always use it as an example of why Yu-Gi-Oh! Cards are written so poorly. Because
the wording on Yu-Gi-Oh! Cards can be awful, yo.
So something similar to that is I judged a regional, and I got a judge call, and I came up to the table, and the guy asked, he's like, "Why can't I Black Horn of Heaven this monster reborn?" I was like, so.
Yeah, it's the same thing. It's Thunder King in trap form.
I think it got like updated text or something because back then it just said if your opponent's special monster negate or whatever. So I was like, can't do that. He was like, why not? I was like, it only negates inherent. He was like, it doesn't say that. I was like, oh,
I know, they get so upset. I feel bad. Yu-Gi-Oh! Has some of the most confusing rulings ever, and navigating the rules, or I should say the hidden rules, is part of the game.
Yeah.
It can be confused. Like, there's no, in the rule book, at no point anywhere does anybody talk about missing timing, right? Like the rule books don't talk about it, but that little wording like when and if on a card completely changes the way certain cards work.
Yeah, I thought Pet in the Dark Clown was so broken back in the day until I realized,
Me too. I used to play Pettin, and I guess technically we were cheating because we didn't know that Pettin didn't work. We didn't know that Pettin didn't work if you discarded him for a cost and shit like that. Like, so we would discard him for Raigeki breaks and. Like,
I was thinking, why is no one playing 3 of these? Like, what in the world?
Like, this card seems insane, especially for Monarch. You're like, this card's insane. What do you mean? What do you mean?
And it's just misses timing on fucking everything.
Yes.
Yeah, so you do anything with it. You look at that card, misses timing.
That's what makes Sangan so cool. People were like, oh, Sangan never misses timing. He's a god.
Yeah, Sangan was great. All right, so I want to pivot real quick into Tyree's second time winning in 2013 with Mermails at, I believe it's YCS Caucus.
Yep.
How many tops did you have in between your first win and second win?
Let me see.
Less than 10?
I'm almost positive it's my third top. I'm almost positive.
No way.
It's my third one.
So you went win, top, win?
I'm almost positive it is.
There's no way.
I went to Atlanta 2012. I'm pretty sure I went another year straight without top. Almost positive.
Oh my God, Tyree.
My man said I'm only here to win, Frazier. He's only here to win.
To be fair, I didn't go to that many events in 2012. Like, I didn't go to Long Beach. I didn't go to Dallas.
Right.
Like, I didn't go to what is it? Like, I went to Nat.
Chicago was one of them.
Yeah, did I go to Chicago? I don't remember. I think I might have, but yeah, I didn't go to a lot of events.
Did you return to Providence where Chris LeBlanc won 2012?
I did, and I was also a clown at that event. I was Bozo again. Right.
Why were you Bozo?
I was running wind up, but I just forgot how to play wind ups like midway through the tournament, so I just took like I started off like 5-0 to
Oh
Not
damn.
on tall bar. Right. It was bad. But yeah, I'm pretty sure. Yeah, fairly certain that was my third win. I mean, third top. So
Let's go.
like,
Win top win.
Holy shit. I know I used to say this about Stephen Harris because I think that almost every time he topped, he won. Like I know he won 2 Shonen Jumps, but I feel like he topped 2 Shonen Jumps. So you are basically the second coming because you went to three. Well, not went to, but you topped 3 of them and won 2 of them. So you were like 66% on winning the event, which is absurd, actually.
you say that, but then if you take into account the event attendance, it
Yes.
makes those percentage really bad.
Yeah, but
So
look, if when you get into top cut, you make it count. That's important too, though. Like that means
Yo,
something. People who get into the
put it
top
this
cut,
way:
they go far.
there's definitely people that topped more events than you, but they never won an event. And you're like, yeah, well, I won too.
Joji
that is
Orlando,
true. And
Alistair
by that point,
Albans.
yeah, by that point, luckily I had an appreciation for winning at that point because I realized I was like, all right, and topping even because I was like, all right, these aren't the easiest things in the world.
No,
I just got really lucky. So
and we know people who have topped, like Kenny said, we know people who topped a lot of events, and they're very hungry for that win. Even like Joe Bogley, and
I
a
Yeah.
know
lot
the
of people.
biggest one is what Matt Pedal. I think Matt Pedal has like 19 tops, something ridiculous like
Yeah,
that
he has a lot
with
of
no
tops.
win.
Matt Pedal. There's a lot of people like that who have a lot of tops and they just need that win to solidify everything. It brings everything together. Let's just be specific
Yeah.
and say they need that YCS win because that's what most of them are gunning for. Because even Patrick James, he always talks to me about how he wants to win a YCS so bad so he could quit the game and be done with it. And I'm like, you won
Yeah,
like 2 or 3 ARGs. Like that's pretty fucking impressive. And it's also a lot of money because ARGs were paying out
yeah, it
like
is.
$1,500 for first, which when we were playing them back in 2013, 2014, like that was a pretty decent amount of money
That was infinite. Yeah, that was
from
infinite.
Yu-Gi-Oh. Yeah, from Yu-Gi-Oh. Like you
Yeah,
won $1,500 from just playing Yu-Gi-Oh. That's pretty damn good. Um, but at the end of the day, everybody wants that opportunity to hear the whole room, having to listen to your name be called as the winner of the YCS and win that
Yeah,
trip to
there's
nationals, even if
no,
nationals is
yeah,
in
you'll never
Pittsburgh.
get tired of that.
yeah, there's
What
definitely
about
people that are probably upset. Like they've topped so many events, and they have that feeling where they're like, I'm better than these people that are winning. Like I'm
yeah?
better. I know I'm better. Look at how many events I topped, and they can't
I
get that win, and that probably eats at them.
I wonder how many times they go on tilt when they get the top cut and they like, here we go again. Because
Yeah.
So we used to make fun of Timid for that before he won because like he would like stay losing in top 32 every single top cut. Like
right.
it was so frustrating for him, and like every time we would call him Plunder Boy because like he would always lose. He would
Damn.
immediately lose in 32, like immediately, like every single time.
Damn.
So
Yeah, I love Timid. I love it when I was at the event. I actually topped the event he won 2016.
oh, yeah,
I think
same actually.
I think it's Providence. Yes, another fucking Providence, man.
Yeah.
Providence. We're playing. What's that deck called? That's like Star Wars.
You play Cosmo.
Cosmo. Yep, I played Cosmo, but it was a special con to Cosmo. I forget how McKay Pack
Yeah,
came up
you
with the
played that
idea.
card in the Mouse Cosmo. Like I remember that actually.
That's
I
what it
hated that.
was. Oh my god,
Oh,
it was so toxic. It
Some
was so
Stat
toxic.
30, Card of the Mouse. I hated that deck.
That deck was toxic as fuck. But yes,
Like, I
I topped that event and then Timid won with Burning Abyss, which we didn't know at the time was like the best deck for several years,
oh yeah.
especially with Beatrice. Beatrice was just too much.
Yeah.
Oh man.
So I think we got slightly off topic about the event that you won with the mermaids.
Yes, he won again. And what the hell was that like? Because I don't know. I can't
So
speak
like
to this
leading
one.
up to that, leading up to that, I just knew I was like, all right, Fire Fist, no, that is definitely not the deck. I was like Mermail's deck, and I was playtesting with that a lot. And it's funny. So leading up to that is when I first met Patrick James because we went to a random case tournament in North Carolina because I was like I was need to test with this before the event. So I went to a random case tournament. I played Patrick James. And he beats me with water. And fun fact, that is the only time I've actually ever lost with water in a water mirror in any premier event or any
Wow.
event. Period. Like but that was the only time I ever lost one. I've never lost one since.
Yeah.
Then. But he beats me with Moon Glacier, and we ended up talking. I was like, because I realized he was actually decent. I was like, hold up, he actually knows what he's doing.
Yep.
So I ended up talking a little bit. I was like, how you like that card? It was like, I don't know why people are finding it. So then we go to a regional, and I play in a regional. And I don't lose the matches, but I lose 2 games to people in a water mirror because of Moon Glacier. So I was like, why aren't more people playing this? Like, this is cards. I keep losing games for this. So
Yeah.
I'm play testing, against Waterman, and at this point, doing book was a really big thing. So I was playing against my friends on doing book. One was playing water, one was playing fire, and I was playing against them like hours a day. And I put Moon Glacier on my deck with a few other cards. But leading up to it, I don't. It was weird because at the event, I just had a good feeling about the event. Like nothing about felt before. I was like, I just had a feeling it was like it's going to be a good weekend. I remember feeling that before round one. That
Well,
for some reason, I don't remember a lot of the rounds, but I remember playing. I played Jonathan Weigel some mid round, but I played against a lot of fire. I played against like 5 or 6 fire decks. Like I played against windups day one, round 7. I remember round 7 I did play windups. Round 8 I played against one of my friends now, who's Marcus Hale. He's playing water. Got to play against James Guerrero in a feature match round 9. He's also playing water. Beat him. So I went undefeated day one actually in that event. It was a match. I don't know, like switch for that event just wasn't really hard. I just at that point I played like I went through basically every single scenario, but they also had a really broken ruling for that event. It was really very incorrect, but back then for that one event they ruled that if you went, let's say you had an Abyss Turge out and you went this card heavy infantry and added it back to your hand, not only would it trigger, they ruled that if heavy infantry actually activates in hand at that point, so it dodges Abyss Dweller.
oh my
So
God.
it was a very incorrect ruling.
Yes,
But,
that is wild.
yeah, I did that only once though, but obviously when I said that, my opponent thought I was actually just being a savage cheater when I said that to him, so he immediately called a judge.
Yeah, I would call a judge on your ass too if you told me some shit like
I
that.
could not blame him. I was never blaming him. Like it sounded stupid when I was trying to explain it to him. But then when the judge said that, he was not happy. I'll just say the least.
Damn.
Because like we both knew it was wrong, but they
Yes. That is one
We-
thing. Let's talk about that for a little bit. So Yugioh has this thing where you may know the rules, right? You may know all the rules.
Okay.
You may be
Yeah.
the fucking historian of every Yu-Gi-Oh rule in your head, but if you go to a YCS and the head judge that weekend decides to have a couple beers and get fucking shit faced, he can just say anything. An example of this is in 2011 at Gen Con, YCS Indianapolis.
Oh my god!
This is
I remember that.
this is the first event where Xyz monsters are legal, and they ruled. Well, I should say the head judge ruled that when you detach Sangan from an Xyz monster, Sangan gets his effect. Now, this is the most cracked out shit ever because everyone is going summon tour guide, get Sangan, overlay into like Levier or overlay into Leviathan Dragon, and then when they
Like
detach,
Granitosaurus. Like,
yeah, they detach and they get Sangan effect. Then you go search Max C or search Effect Veiler, and now your opponent can't do it back. Like they can't go summon tour guide and do it back because you have Max C or Effect Veiler.
like
It was the craziest shit ever.
stack like a Goblin Zom and a Tengu for Utopia. Utopia's a floater. Like, that was so ridiculous. Like, oh my gosh.
So, what did it feel like winning the second event? Like, what did that feel like? You played James Guerrero in the finals in a water mirror match. You won, obviously, and now you're a two-time YCS champion. What does that feel like?
Honestly, I was more tired than anything. Like, it didn't hit me until like at all until the next day because like I decided it was a good idea the night before to stay up till 4 a.m.
Oh my god!
So I was actually like deliriously tired. Throughout all of Top Cut.
Maybe you play better when you're tired.
No, see, Yu-Gi-Oh players. That was a theory back then that Yu-Gi-Oh players had. I remember that on duelist rounds. People said that, but that's just not correct. But yeah, no, I remember I played Andrew Padella in top 4. I just do not remember that match really at all. Like I do not remember. Like I was that tired. Or was it top 8? One of those. It was top 4 or top 8. But I don't know. It felt while I was game 1 in the finals, which like that woke me up a little bit. I was like, hold up, like not about to lose. But like he ended up messing up a good amount in the finals. That's all I'm going to say about that. He probably should have 3-0'd me or 2-0'd me pretty easily, but he messed up.
Oh, so you're supposed to lose again?
Yeah. Oh yeah. 100%.
We take those.
Yeah, we take every single time.
Look, if you misplay, that's not on me. All right,
yeah,
I came to play.
That's part of the game. You messed up.
Like I didn't even know his hand. I was like, I'm pretty sure it was like 2 turns in a row. I was like, you should have won, but Yeah.
Yeah.
So I ended up winning that, but yeah, I was like, it hit me like the next day. I was like, yo, I actually won again. Like that, that was actually like it was more surreal than the first one because like I was like, yo, twice. Like that's like because like at that point I understood like very few people win multiple times. Even to this day, it's like really hard to win
Yes.
2 times because like what has, especially how the game is now, like what has to happen for you to win.
Yeah, I feel like
now you have to be really good at rolling dice.
So yeah, oh my God, Kenny went to the local last week. He hasn't been to a local in like almost 10 years. So he came to AU last Thursday with me, McCabe, Silverman, everybody. And McCabe was playing against someone. Actually, he was playing against Jarrett Randolph. And McCabe had to read every one of Jarrett's cards. Jarrett's playing dinosaurs. McCabe
he's still playing dinosaurs.
He's still playing 5 years later. He's still playing dinosaurs. And McCabe read every single one of Jarrett's cards because they all have so much text. But Jarrett went first. So he's doing his long ass combo. The combo takes him legit 7 to 10 minutes to resolve the full combo because McCabe has to read all of it. And then on top of that, it just takes long to play Yu-Gi-Oh! Now for some reason. Like the combos just take fucking forever. So he's doing all of this, and I'm explaining to Kenny, it doesn't matter if McCabe knows what any of Jarrett's cards actually do, right? Like McCabe could actually know what everything Jarrett is playing does, and it would not change the outcome because at the end of the turn, Jarrett's board is like Naturia Beast, that Omega Synchro, that dude that banishes a card out your hand. It's
You're not playing Yu-Gi-Oh!
Ultimate Conductor Tyranno with a baby in his hand. It's some other dinosaur that negates spells and traps, and he has some kind of link monster on the field. And he's just like past McCabe's hand is just awesome. He's playing, I think he's playing Shadal with like all these other cards. But basically, yeah, like there's no interaction whatsoever. You don't have a hand trap, and even if you did, most of the decks can play through them.
That's been the game for the last few years now, and I am absolutely good on that.
Yeah.
Like,
and I think the way that you have to win now is you have to just pick the right deck, which is how it's been for the last several years, I feel like, where like your technical play isn't as important as it used to be. So when we won the 2011, 2013 era, like that period, the games are much slower. And yes, water could
there are
kill
more
you.
turns. So.
Yes, water could kill you on turn one, but that wasn't what it always like. It wasn't.
It didn't happen as often as people said it did.
Yes, it's not very common for you to die to water one turn. You will lose the game. You might lose the game on turn one, but you didn't literally lose 8,000. But now deck building is so important. You have to have the right amount of hand traps. You have to have the right amount of side deck cards for every single matchup. And there's so many decks, and you also have to have chosen the correct deck for that tournament, which is harder to do than you think because there's so many decks to choose from. They're all very powerful. They all can win on turn one essentially. So what separates them? But that's a question for the people who play currently.
Yeah, I'm not too familiar with that, like right now, but I back then, like games that lasted like longer. Like there's like a lot of like technical play. Actually, like you said, did matter quite a bit more than it does because like nowadays, like you can mess up, but like you'll end on like. You mess up nowadays, you'll end up on like 4 negates instead of 5, which I don't know if that mattered. Like, because I remember watching that rock deck play. My friend, his name was Robert, he played that. He was at a local a few months ago. He's like, dang, I messed up. But his ending board was like Appaloosa with like 3 negates, like something else wasn't Cherubies, like some other guy negates. I was like, I couldn't tell. I didn't know you messed up. I wouldn't.
Like you would have no idea. He told you he messed up, but at the end of the day, it's more than enough to win the game.
Yeah, so like
it's crazy. The Naturia Beast has been here forever.
It has, and that card's degenerate as fuck. It is so degenerate.
Frazier, did you top Meadowlands? I forgot actually if it did or not.
Meadowlands? No, I have a fucked up story for the YCS U1. So I play spell books, and I ended up going 9-2. Tyree, I went 9-2.
Oh, you're one of the infinite people who missed top cut. I know there's so many people who
specifically I got 34th place.
Oh my gosh!
Yep, that's a dream crush too. Because imagine playing 11 rounds and going 9-2. 9-2 is a fucking insane.
I couldn't. That's heartbreaking. Like
it's super heartbreaking. I was fucking soul crushed because I thought I topped. I was like, holy shit. I went 9 and 2.
Exactly. You think that's a topping record, like easily. I was like, all right, not X2. All right, I'm in there. Like,
Yes, 9 and 2 is crazy. And then I fucking don't top. And I not only do I not top, but I'm really close to like the top 32. I'm 2 names off.
exactly. Like, because I remember X2s went all the way down to like 40 something. It was
Yeah.
actually ridiculous.
Yeah. Oh
Like,
god, that sucks so bad, man. That sucks so
like,
bad.
yikes. See, I didn't know that was going on because, like,
In
like,
hindsight, I don't think
see
I would
that
have won
event,
that event, but still.
that event, like another like fun fact, that was when I first met Christian Georges because I actually ended up scooping to him the first round of day 2 because I played down and I was just like I just don't want to be that guy, so I ended up just scooping to him
Oh.
and we're actually like good friends since then. So
Yeah, and then
like,
he went.
I'm not one to
goes
drink.
and
I don't
wins
like
a.
drink sessions.
He goes and wins
Like, if he's listening to
YCS.
this, he knows darn well he would have lost that match. But
Oh, Christian Georges, Tyree's on your head.
oh, he knows. So
But yeah, Christian went on to win Atlanta, I think in 2014, something like that.
yeah, yep.
Yeah.
Like 2013 was fun. Like it was more, in my opinion, it was more impactful for me than the first one. Like they're both impactful, but like looking back, like for the second one, like I felt better, like even as a player and like just like overall, like
Yeah, your very short journey from your first win to your second win, you asshole.
Yeah, let's go.
My man won in
You say
2011.
short?
He won in 2011, and then he wins in 2013. I'm not trying to hear it.
And there's a top in the middle.
Then God said, you shall never win again. So, because I went, because I proceeded after that, I proceeded to top more, but losing 32 like almost every time. So
Yeah.
like,
sorry, you got the 2 wins.
Yes. Yep.
A third one would be kind of nice.
You know what that reminded me of? When you when you came on and Frazier was like, it wasn't enough, you had to get a second win. It reminds me of there's like an old like Kobe Shaq conversation where after Shaq left the Lakers, both of them wanted to get a ring without Kobe, without Shaq.
Yep.
And then they both ended up getting a ring, and then Kobe ended up getting like 1 more or 2 more than Shaq. And it's a joke they have. Like whenever they would hang out afterwards, they would make that joke. Like Kobe, like I have more rings though. Like
yeah, I can use one, like just one more. I need a refresh. Like just one. I need to refill. I need that feeling again. Like feeling of elation after you tap for me. Like
yeah. When did you when did you end up? My bad, I stuttered. When did you end up stop playing the game? Or when did you end up walking away?
So I stopped right after like Zodiac Nats. I forgot what year that was.
2017, I want to say, because 2016 was fucking Domain Monarchs, so it had to be 2017.
Yeah, because I don't know, like I just didn't really like the direction the game was going. A lot of my friends were also stopped. That was like another big part. A lot of people I know were just stopped playing at that point. But I don't know, because like I would just be testing for these events and just not like a whole bunch of scenarios. Just don't come up. You just get maxed out tournament, flying seed, like shoving like 14 hand traps in your deck. Like I just kind of saw the trend that Konami was doing, and it wasn't stopping or slowing down, like moving forward. So I was like not really a fan.
Fall out of interest.
Yeah, like because I remember I had a huge conversation with this with like Patrick James and my friend Chris probably Mensa back then. Like just like about like having enjoyment about it and like going to events, just being like super stressed out. But y'all got to do well. Like, like because I played in this much testing. Like
hand traps are not fun, man, and they keep making more. Hand traps, I think, are some of the most not fun.
I've always said this to like, the people who know me. I've always hated hand traps because like sometimes they just don't even work.
Yeah.
You're just like throw some hand trap to still end on like some like a board or whatever. You draw them late, they make your deck inconsistent. You draw like 4 of them, you're just like I can't play. Like I just never like a whole bunch of hand trap. I just never liked it.
Yeah.
Especially in these combo decks where you have to have like multiple cards to play. Like it's just not. I've never been a huge fan.
I also hate them.
So
I hate them so much. You really do have to play a lot of them because the person going first, they draw their 2-card combo. Some of the decks have 1-card combos, like fucking the Prank Kids deck. I'm pretty sure it goes off of 1 card. But like, if they
Okay.
draw their 1 or 2 card combo and you don't have a way to stop it, you pretty much lose. And I don't like that at all.
Not fun.
Yeah. So like that at that point, I was good like playing because at that point I did top like a solid amount up to that point, and I was like I would like a third one, but I was like, oh, yeah, it's just not really worth it. Like,
Yeah,
I was like,
I think you have a really good legacy though. Like you have 2 wins and several tops. Like you're not one of those people that anyone can say anything bad about. You don't have any bad rep. Like there's no crazy stories about you or anything like that. Like you got out really clean, and you're like one of the best players that ever have played Yu-Gi-Oh, and no one's
That's all
gonna
you
ever
can
take
ask
that away
for.
from you. Yeah.
Yeah, that's all you can ask for right there.
Yeah, because I remember what was it like? I'm trying to see prior to that what events I really went to. Yeah, I'm trying to. Yeah, so especially remember I had this feeling at Pittsburgh, and I went to Pittsburgh and just wasn't really having fun playing there. So I was like, I'm pretty sure Nationals was going to be my last event.
Yeah.
But I mean, I had fun leading up to that. Like went to like a lot of ARGs, YCSs, traveled a lot. So one went to Vegas. Like a lot of those trips were really fun. So.
Yeah, no, we had a lot of fun together. I don't even remember where was 2017 Nationals because I don't think I went.
Where was it? Was it Pittsburgh? I don't remember where it was.
I feel like I did 2017. I feel like I was not around Yu-Gi-Oh at all.
Was it Ohio?
I don't even know where I was in 2017.
I don't remember where it was exactly. I'm not gonna lie. Chicago,
I'm like
Ohio,
99% sure I did not go to Nationals in 2017.
You didn't go.
Yeah.
I don't remember seeing you there. Like.
Yeah, and that was when I really knew I was done. When I stopped going to Nationals, I was like, yeah, I'm officially over it.
Yeah, that when you don't go to Nats of all events, it's like, all right, that's about it. Like, gotta call it there.
Yeah. So I guess let's go way back. So how did you even get into Yu-Gi-Oh, Tyree? Like what got you playing the game?
So my story is probably not similar to a lot of other people's. So I remember I watched the show. Well, it is similar to some extent, but I did watch the show. But I did not start out with a structure deck because I remember my close friend at the time, his name was Matthew. He had an older brother named Chris. And I saw the cards, and I was like, "Are those the cards from the TV show?" And he was like, "Yes." And I was like, "Oh, how can I get them? I need to get some of these." And he just gave me a pile of cards, like Neo the Magic Swordsman. Like it had like Weather Report, like a whole bunch of random cards in there. I was playing with my friend at his house like multiple like days, weeks in a row. And then found out he told me there's a card shop people went to. It was called Kid Go Round. So I went there, realized like, oh shoot, a lot of people actually play this game. At this point, I just didn't know a lot of people played. So went to the locals filled. Obviously, I had zero clue what I was doing. Like no sleeves at this point at all. Like nothing. Like I think every single hollow card I got, I would just put in my deck. Like no deck. Like I remember I got Insect Queen.
I love it. You put every hollow in your deck. That's great. Everyone did that.
Like, legendary Fisherman, I got one of those. I had like Umi in my deck, Insect Barrier. I just put everything in my deck.
Yes, Insect Barrier with some DNA surgery.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, it's not good. Like so.
I remember early on one of my locals, there was a kid that went every week, and he had no sleeves on his deck, and he had the head of Exodia in his deck. Like ultra rare first edition head of Exodia in his deck, but none of the other pieces of Exodia. Like just the head of Exodia, no sleeves, none of the other pieces of Exodia. He was just rocking out.
Yep.
Yes, I mean that's something I would have did, to be honest. Because I don't know, like back then I just had zero clue what was going on. Like because I vaguely remember some stuff going on at locals, but it was not great. I remember our first structure deck was the Joey one, I think, and I just put like half the cards in the Joey deck on my deck. Like it was like I didn't end up getting the Yugi Kaiba structure till like a long time later. Like, but because I didn't start, like I said, I didn't start with those. I started with pile of cards, so I didn't start structure deck.
Fucking pile of cards. I think we all been there though. At the very least, I can definitely say I did start with a pile of cards. A lot of them were hollow. but I knew some of them were just good, even if they weren't hollow, because they just cleared monsters like fucking Fisher. Me and my friends, we knew Fisher was the shit.
I remember there was a brief time where I quit Yu-Gi-Oh! Between, like, by quit, I mean, I started, like, when Yu-Gi-Oh! Came out, and then I stopped playing it, and this is probably in the span of a year, but it felt longer when you're a kid. There's a period of time when I, like, stopped, I didn't really know what was going on, and then that's when Thena and the Great Sphinx and, like, the movie cards came out, and I went over to my friend's house, and he wanted to get me to play Yu-Gi-Oh! Again, and he just gave me a pile of cards. I remember Thena and the Great Sphinx was in it, and Pyramid of Light, and those trash-ass cards.
I think when I started playing, I think Pharaoh's Servant was the set. Well,
shit.
I believe.
That's me too.
I believe it was Pharaoh's Servant, but I remember, what was it? Like, it was something else I was gonna. Oh, so like I remember the God card. Oh my god! Like, it took me forever to like. I don't know what it was, but I just couldn't. I didn't understand like card interactions back then. Like, also I couldn't know how to afford cards. I remember smashing around at the point was like $16. I was like, I can't get this. Like, no way.
Yeah,
So like, I remember
wild.
I did have Frazier. I'm trying to see what else I had in my deck. I do not remember. I remember I couldn't get a Goblin Attack Force. I remember that. That was Ultra. I couldn't afford that.
Yeah.
It's like a whole bunch of random cards. I remember the first regional I went to was that was terrible. Like, I just didn't understand the concept of dropping. So I think I went like X6 or something like that for regional. Just didn't understand what dropping was.
I have
was
the
like,
same story, I think, with that too. Like my first regional,
I remember
didn't
I
know.
was like, I just need to win. I was like, I just want to win one match. That was my goal. I actually want to win once. Like, that was it.
That determination, Tyree, you had it early.
I don't know if I won once, to be honest. Might have, but
you probably went on. You probably went on to be better than everyone at that regional.
One of my friends, well, he's my friend now, but Tyrone, who played the guy I referenced earlier, he topped that regional. So like, he's like the only like person I remember who was good at that regional. But honestly, like, thinking back, I don't know if everyone was like, I don't think anyone was like super good. I'm pretty sure he was the only person at locals that like did anything on like a consistent basis. Because I know, but for a fact, like looking like back at all, none of them topped any like jumps or anything back then. So because like Yu-Gi-Oh, trying to see like what was the best deck back then. Like, I don't remember. It was like when Pharaoh's Servant just came out.
I'm pretty sure we were all playing some kind of Go Control or Chaos. Like, you know, that
Mad Dog of Darkness Beatdown.
You say we all, but I was not playing any of that. So like,
he said, "I'm not playing
Harper's Brother, 7-colored fish."
I remember those. Those were broken to me. Those were insane.
Yeah.
Legend.
I played
Dog of Darkness. Yo, I remember when they first released Gene Warped Werewolf, a 2000 attack 4-star monster. I lost I was like, 2000 attack on a 4-star?
And no drawback.
Yeah,
he had no drawback.
Yeah.
So you're not going to a defense after you attack. It's not destroying itself. Like,
no drawbacks. That's just straight up his ability. Yep.
I remember when I saw that card, I was like, Yu-Gi-Oh's getting power creep. I was like, this is power creep.
Yep.
Yu-Gi-Oh was so bad back then. Oh my god.
Yu-Gi-Oh's worse now. Way worse.
I'm talking about like me. Like,
oh yeah. I mean, we humble beginnings, my friend. Humble beginnings.
I'm talking about my locals was worse than like everybody else. It's like, like no one played meta at a point or local.
I remember I remember the local I went to, which was AU back then. There would be a couple people that played meta stuff like Silverman and Silverman's homies. I don't know if he's still friends with any of these people anymore, but back then I used to call them Silverman and the Silverines because Silverman had a group of people that just followed him around.
The Silverines.
They just followed him around and did anything that he said and just always listened to him. And I remember thinking, like, Silverman's pretty cool. He's really good. But I remember thinking, like, the Silverines are so corny. Like, because it's just like, they just follow him around and just do whatever he says. And just, I was like, what the hell? But
stop. Like, at least you had someone good. I'm talking about, like, after this, like, when the shop moved locations, like, there was, like, it was a point to where there was, like, nobody good at my local. So
but that's what I'm saying. My local had good people at it, but then it also had people that would play, like, I don't know, Fiend Comedian deck or, I don't know, just random shit.
We had Fortune Ladies, Dark Arm and 6 Samurais. It was not Light Sworn Samurais. What was another deck people played? Black Wings of No Whirlwind.
Oh my
Not
God.
just
There's no
weren't
excuse
good.
for
Like
that. There's no excuse.
well, there's no one. Well, there's no one good at our locals. So like we just play whatever. Our locals was inside our own. It was like a bubble. Our locals existed in its own universe where people just play whatever you wanted. Especially if you top. We all thought if like we were so nice because we were top locals every week. So like we were just like yo so nice until you go to regional, stuff out. But then like everyone forget what happened to regional. Go back to locals. Think you're super nice again. And that repeats. So like I always
Not
agree with
super
that.
nice.
Like we thought, yo,
No, super nice again. Like
stop. One of my friends, Robert Jordan, can attest to this. Like he was a part of this. Then like eventually, I kind of woke up and started playing meta decks at that point, and that's when I started topping regionals. But I still wasn't all the way awake yet because I was
Yeah.
still trained back to running random decks every now and then for fun. So
I do miss those days at locals though, when you'd have a couple people playing good meta decks, and then you'd have other people playing just kind of decks like clown control, right?
I
You don't see dumb shit like that anymore. It's a good time.
I mean, to an extent, because like it was. I will say it was fun, but ignorance is bliss. That's the most I'll say. That's what I can say about that. Like, cause
I remember seeing so many random decks that just, in hindsight, it's like, what was that guy doing?
That's all our locals was, and it was like that for like years. Like it was just random decks. And then when we just play it at regionals, go like X8 and just repeat the cycle over and over again.
Man.
So Tyree, what's your favorite? Like, what are your favorite formats? Some of the favorite formats that you played in.
2011, like just plants, like
Yep.
Necros.
2014.
I think Necros is my favorite. Yeah, Necros is probably my favorite. Windups.
Yep.
If you have to pick a top three, it's probably my three. Plants, windups, Necros.
Those are your three?
Yep.
What about favorite cards? Like when you, I don't know how much you are into collecting Yu-Gi-Oh cards, but when you think about your favorite,
big.
Okay. What about that? What's your favorite cards?
Dark Arm Dragon is my favorite card.
Dark Arm Dragon is your favorite card?
Yep. Like,
do you have a first edition Dark Arm?
Got three of them, yeah.
Yeah, he's like, I got a play set, son.
Yeah, he's
like, I got a play set, son.
I had to get a play set because I collect secret rares, so I had to get a play set.
Nice. Speaking of collecting, there's a conversation I want to have with you when we're done talking about Yu-Gi-Oh! That has to do with collecting.
Oh yeah, but yeah, Dark Arm is my favorite card. I don't know. Ever since I caught like just because of like how dominant it was when it came out and like how cool it was when I saw it.
Yeah.
The art on Dark Arm is sick.
I'm not going to talk about how expensive that was, but
I had to trade so much to get two of them.
I traded my binder to get one at one point because I could not that was it. I didn't have anything.
Damn.
So like it was like I remember my friend pulled one at the sneak because I remember back in the day that had sneak previews at the convention center. He pulled one and traded it for an entire glider beast deck, like on the spot, like Ultimate Test Tigers. Here, Klinos, like all of that on a spot. Because he didn't. It's crazy because he didn't have a deck really back then. He just pulled Dark on. Dudes immediately shot it off from the entire deck for it. Like,
dang.
But like, I don't know, that was my favorite because like the art was cool. It was super dominant when it came out. Like that decks
so cool.
Yes, like the fact they like I couldn't. Another part why I like it so much was like how hard it was for people to get them back. Because they were like $250. Yes. $200 a piece. Yep. Like how coveted it was. Like those cards so hard to get.
I'm pretty sure I traded half my binder and $150 cash for like 1.5 Dark Arm Dragon.
Cards and cash, my favorite.
Yes.
Like he was like, would you also do 150 on top of all of these cards? And I was like, sure.
Damn.
Oh no.
The thing I like about that deck too, I mean, I guess you could argue Dark is an archetype, but I enjoyed that it felt like a collection of it felt like a Dark deck, not like an archetype deck.
It kind of is though, because that's when they started dropping Dark Lord Dorado.
Yeah, like Dark Greffer.
Yes, yeah. So there was a period where I mean I think that's the something of darkness, right? I forget what Phantom Darkness.
That is Phantom Darkness. So
yeah,
I know. So like leading on to the Dark deck thing. So obviously at that point, when the set came out, no one of my locals could afford Dark Arm, so we just ran Dark decks with like Dark Knight Parshaft, Dark Nephthys. Like some of us were able to get Dark Creators, ran them. Like
Dark Creators,
Dark decks.
Yeah,
like, no one had a Dark deck for the longest. No one had like some of us had like maybe one or two Aurors, but like No one, no one could afford any of that because like it got to the point. I remember Phantom Darkness packs were like $7-8 a piece, so like couldn't afford any of it. So
Yeah, crazy.
like, so yeah, like Dark on Draft, but
That's a good one. That's a very good one, actually.
That's a great one.
like
So, I guess I need to ask, what have you been doing in your retirement from Yu-Gi-Oh? Because you've been retired for a couple years now, and if you're anything like me, you probably enjoy your retirement too.
Yeah, what's
so
life like now? What are you up to?
So basically, like I realized after I played, I had like a whole block of time because obviously I put so much time into the game. So when I stopped playing, I ended up going to the gym and losing a lot of weight. Obviously concentrated a lot on school. Playing a lot more games. I'll say that, like a lot more games, anime. So not nothing too exciting, unfortunately. So
Well, that's
Hey
exciting
man,
to me.
the going to the gym and losing weight or getting in shape, whatever. I mean, that's big.
that was
No
like a
pun
big
intended.
thing for me, to be honest. It was like losing weight, getting back to that. So.
Yeah, taking
There's
care
a
of
lot of
yourself.
people in like in competitive games. Like I follow the FGC a lot, and I remember hearing a lot of people talk about like if you're competing at a really high level in fighting games and stuff, and I'm sure other games, but there's people that really value going to the gym and stuff in the morning because it just gets your head in the right mindset. Like you're keeping your body healthy, and then you feel better when you're practicing and stuff like that. So going to the gym, just whatever, is pretty good. Keeping your body in shape is good because you don't, it's something that gets undervalued, I think. But you don't want to be old. You don't want to be an old man and just start getting all crickety.
No, it really does, especially if like I don't know. I just realized how badly out of shape I was with like when I played, just because like how me and Frazier talked about this briefly before, but just how like bad Yu-Gi-Oh weekends are on your
Oh,
body.
they're awful.
Like
You don't sleep. You
so,
eat
like
fucking
you're
Dominoes.
eating like trash.
You eat
Yeah,
Dominoes all the time. It's just terrible for you.
like you're eating
Domino's, Wendy's,
pizza all
McDonald's.
weekend, fast food,
Yep,
no sleep,
convention
black
center
hole on
food,
Friday.
barely drinking
Like
water enough,
exactly, like not not enough water. It's all bad, and like
holding your
multiple
bladder.
doing
And on
that
top of that,
multiple.
you're just sitting.
Exactly. Like
You're
just sitting
just
down for
fucking
like 8-9
sitting.
hours. Like it took a while to get my body back into like normal, like actually like normal functioning form.
Yeah,
Like
I didn't work out at all really when I was playing Yu-Gi-Oh, and then when
oh,
I
no
quit,
one did.
that's one
Like
of the things I started doing when I quit is I started to get my body in
I'm
shape.
mad you said no one did.
yo,
Yeah,
like
pretty much.
who really stop? Who really like went to the gym constantly when they're
He's like, what
playing?
Yu-Gi-Oh player do you know goes to the gym?
Very few. They
Like
were exceptions. They were definitely not the rule.
yeah, there were a few exceptions, but like most people,
I
it's
think
not
about
like
like
come
John Harrison at one point, Xavier.
on. Oh yeah.
That was it. So
What
what? Oh, go ahead.
I was going to ask what because you said you started playing more video games and more anime. Video games I'm going to get to. I'm going to save that for next. But in terms of anime, what are some of your go-to anime? What are some of your favorites?
Uh,
What have you been watching
my
recently?
answers won't be fun. It's just the same answers like favorites of like Code Geass, Brotherhood, Death Note,
Some
what
of the
else? Some other
classics.
like Yu Yu Hakusho, Rurouni Kenshin, like
The
boring answers. I'm gonna be
classics.
honest.
Let's go.
Yeah,
Like, hey
nothing
man,
wrong
they're
with
the
the classics.
classics.
We're gonna get a lot of the same
That's what brings
answers.
people together.
Yeah.
Yeah, so
What's
Yeah, I
your
don't expect many people. I don't expect me to go, hey, what's your favorite anime? I don't expect many people to go K-On! And Love Live.
yeah,
Like
I guess that's fair.
I
That's
fuck
fair.
with K-On! And Love Live, but I don't expect
Like,
anybody to be like, oh, they're my favorite.
what is your favorite anime, though, Terry? Like your number one
uh,
anime?
so I remember I had this conversation with my friend a few days ago, but oh, it was between Yu Yu Hakusho, Death Note, and Bleach for me. But I said Yu
Gotcha.
Yu Hakusho.
Yu Yu
Okay.
I had
Hakusho is
to
your
pick
favorite
one.
anime?
Like gun to my head. Yeah, gun to my head. That's probably my favorite one.
That's not bad.
I love that choice.
Yeah.
I love you.
I mean, that's one of the few writers who hit twice. He has Hunter x Hunter and Yu Yu Hakusho, so that's pretty.
He does.
It's a pretty good one.
And I love Yu Yu Hakusho. I remember a couple years ago I reread it because I mostly always watch the anime for Yu Yu Hakusho, and I'd never read the whole manga. And a couple years ago I rewatched it, and then I went to reread it, and the ending gets me, man. The ending gets me. I get teared up. That shit
Oh
is so
yeah,
good.
like the whole thing about Yu Yu Hakusho. Like I just like. There's not a single arc I didn't not like. Like just everything about it I just really like. So I obviously have a lot of other favorites. So it's just really hard for me to pick one.
Yeah.
So someone just pick one. I'm just like, yeah. But
Have you seen just throw it out there. I'm gonna be that guy. Have you seen One Piece?
no, Frazier's been trying to get me on that forever.
Got to get on.
I need to eventually start, but that's a mountain I need to eventually climb.
It's a mountain. Here's what I'll say. And I say this to a lot of people. I have some friends that are like, I want to start One Piece, but it's too long. Like, I don't feel like watching it. It's too long. And a couple of my responses. One is that everybody I've gotten to start One Piece have eventually been like, hey, man, it's not long enough. I'm caught up. I want more. So they get caught up and they're like, it's not long enough. Give me more. So that happens a lot. But then also, you're going to watch, like, if you're going to sit at home, like, if somebody's busy, they're like, I work 15 hours a day. I don't got time to watch One Piece. I'm like, you know what? That's fair. You don't have time to watch One Piece. But if somebody's like, I sit at home and I watch Netflix and I watch about 6 hours of Netflix a night, I don't have time. Like, you do have time to watch One Piece. What the fuck you watching for 6 hours on Netflix? Start putting some One Piece on. Trust me, it's going to be better than watching The Flash on CW.
We're not going to talk about that, like, well, but I do need to, like, put some time aside. But all right, I'm gonna watch like X episodes of like One Piece and because that's one thing I see. I will know. I know I will do is like once I get into it, I will like go like head first into it. So
yeah.
Do you read manga, Tyree?
Yeah, not as much as like some other of my friends, but
yeah, I don't read manga as much as I used to. Like when Naruto, Bleach, and One Piece were all running concurrently, but One Piece's manga in particular is outrageous. I mean, I cannot stress that enough. That's like so good.
My friend Joe keeps saying that how ridiculous the One Piece manga is.
It's the best manga of all time for a reason.
If you read manga, I suggest the manga. But even still, early anime, I like the anime a lot, especially early on. I was saying this in a One Piece episode, but you get a feel for the character voices and stuff like that. So even if you watch some of the anime and transition to the manga, overall, One Piece is amazing to me.
I'm gonna start. Don't worry.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm trying to convert into the cult. Bring you in.
Let me see. Yeah, I'm trying to see my other favorites. Yeah, I think I named all the favorites. Like, well, obviously, I do watch stuff like Dragon Ball and everything, but
yeah. Are you watching anything current?
You said currently?
Yeah, are you watching any are you watching any current anime or going through anything?
Yeah, so I do watch I'm watching the Summer Core right now of anime. I need to pull up the list. Actually, I do have a list of animes I currently watch. These after that, I'm watching what is it? Reincarnated Slime. Watching that.
I like that.
What else I'm watching? There's a few isekais which like I don't know the English name of them I'm watching.
Yeah, isekai for anybody that doesn't know, it roughly translates to in another world. It means an anime where, as an example, you're just a normal guy. You go to work every day and then you get hit by a bus. And then you wake up inside an RPG world.
And you're super broken.
And then usually you're super broken. So, like, something happens you're from the real world and you end up in some kind of fantasy world.
Yep.
A lot of people don't realize this, but, like, Inuyasha is an isekai. It's like an old school isekai. But Sword Art Online is an isekai. Log Horizon, Overlord.
Yeah, so, like, I'm watching, let me see. There's, like, a whole bunch of those I'm watching. Like, nothing's, like, nothing like super stands out like like Tokyo watching that.
Tokyo Revengers? I haven't started that yet.
Revengers. Like Mahoka. Let me see. Like there's like a whole bunch I'm watching, but nothing's like nothing like super stands out. So
I heard that Tokyo Revengers is really good. Everyone's talking about that now.
Yeah, that one's good. I really do like that. Like
yeah, I haven't started. I got to get on that. I haven't started it yet.
That one kind of stands out. In the other ones, so still watching Detective Conan. Actually, that's like another one. That's like big keep up with.
Conan is forever. That's going to outlive all of us.
I've actually been keeping up with that. I've watched every episode of that one.
Detective Conan is going to outlive us all.
Oh yeah, 100%.
We got no shot at outliving that.
Right.
All right. So let's jump on the video games. So the other night, Tyree was in my stream.
Oh.
And I was playing Fire Emblem Three Houses. I love Fire Emblem. I'm playing Three Houses.
Oh yeah, I'm a huge Fire Emblem fan as well.
So. And Tyree goes, I'm looking at Fire Emblem Sacred Stones. It's a sealed copy.
It's sealed.
I want to buy it. And I was like, oh, that's cool. I was like, Sacred Stones is the shit. I like that game. And then you go, how much did you say it was? Like 980 or something?
No, 340. That 340, was another
okay.
one. Yeah, that one's 340. But there's another one that was 980.
340, and I was like, yo, Sacred Stones is good. I don't know if it's 340 good. You were like, yeah, but it's sealed.
It's sealed, bro. Like, what? Like, how do you pass that up?
Yeah, but it's sealed. And then so you said you are RPG game collector.
Yeah, I play them. Obviously, I'm not just someone who just collects these games to look at them. I do play them, but I do like collecting sealed copies of certain games, which I really do like.
So what's some of your collection? Like, what are some? If you don't mind sharing the prices, you don't have to, because I understand.
I'm not gonna explain. Well, I already told you when I spent the most I spent is $980 on Persona sealed.
Persona 1 original Persona sealed $980. So how do you go about looking for these things? Do you go on eBay? Do you like? I don't really know where else you would look other than eBay, I guess, or Amazon maybe.
So is Frazier still here? I couldn't really hear.
Yeah, I'm here. I'm here.
Oh, okay, all right. But so I actually go. I'm in a few private Facebook groups because I don't. So like I remember talking when I first started getting into collecting. I found out very quickly like eBay is not the best place to go when it comes to collecting, because
I can imagine.
Like you could get stuff, especially if you're looking for a sealed copy, just because you have to find out if if it's like a Y or X seal, which there is a difference between those two because it's like the X is easier to reseal games. There's also the wrapping. You don't want tears in the paper. Trusting the mail services, how they'll pack it up. If it's a reproduction copy, like there's a lot of factors. So I usually just stick to online like Facebook groups that I'm a part of that I got added to because they're really trustworthy and they're easier to deal with than just going through online like eBay like transactions. So
actually, yeah. See, that's something I've only learned now because of talking to you. Because if I wanted to get into collecting stuff, I wouldn't know where to start. I'm like, I don't know. I guess eBay. But knowing that there's Facebook groups and there's probably Discord groups. There's probably
there are Facebook and Discord groups. So like I just like starting with those. Like obviously if you can go to a video game shop, you can. But those prices they're generally overpriced. At video game shop, you can generally get stuff for a better deal on these private groups because because I was like, all right, people. You can usually get stuff for like retail in these groups or less than retail, depending on who you're talking to. And for a fact, like it's in a condition that that they say is like I've never once had any issues with anybody or any item off of these groups because they package it well. Because obviously there's other collectors you're dealing with. They're not just someone who are just buying to flip them.
These are other people that care about the hobby.
Yeah, so like, they will pack it really well, and they'll get it to you as you like want it or as they like described it to you in the picture. Like you're not going to get something where it's like, all right, like the box is mint, but you see it has a dent in the corner, which if you do collect games, it does mean a lot because that happened to me on eBay once where there was like a small dent in a sealed corner and I didn't resend it back because that just wasn't. I've even gotten games that were like on eBay that were said they were sealed. I told it to Frazier actually. It was a Naruto game. It just came not only unsealed but it just was scratched. So
dude, the worst is when Remember you would get a game from GameStop or whatever. I hate the fucking stickers and shit people would put on the box.
Yeah,
I
like those stickers.
I really have to pay services to get those taken off sometimes. I mean, because like you can't get those off normally without leaving residue on it.
You can't. You cannot remove those fucking stickers.
Yeah, it's so annoying.
So what are some of your favorite games in your collection that you have, like in terms of your sealed collection?
A lot. I don't have too many games sealed because as of recently, because it's not even just Yu-Gi-Oh! Everything has gone up in price, including sealed games. Like sealed games are like 8-9 times more than they used to be. Like that Fire Emblem game, for instance, was $40 like last year. So
yeah, when I was looking at when you talked to me, I looked up. I know Fire Emblem Path of Radiance is one of the most sought after Fire Emblem games.
I have that sealed.
Dude, so I looked it up the other night on eBay, and there was a listing on eBay for Fire Emblem Path of Radiance. It was I think a B grade seal, and it was going for over $1,000. And there was a Path of Radiance A grade seal that was going for like $2,500.
Yeah, there's a huge difference because video game grades are harsher than like hard game grades. Because for instance, one of the rarest things in the world is a grade 10 video game. 1 out of 10 video games are some of the rarest things in the world just because there's so many factors that go into grading games. So it's super hard to get those, but I don't get
a sealed Path of Radiance. I'm jealous of that. That's fucking
I got
crazy.
That forever. I got that forever ago though, because that was like one of my favorite games, and I saw that somewhere.
That's crazy.
That game, even unsealed, if you went to case and booklet and all that, is really still like a few $100s.
I think it's like $100. Yeah, a couple $100 unsealed. Yep.
Yeah, if you want the disc and everything, if you just want the disc, then it's a little bit cheaper. But that's one thing I also don't do. Even when I'm not buying sealed games, I don't get stuff that's if it has to have the instruction booklet and all that. Like that's
Yeah,
like
you
a
want the
that's like a
case
thing.
and everything, yeah.
I have to have that. Like I have to. It's mandatory.
I hate. Remember those old school Blockbuster cases? Not Blockbuster. I'm
I will
sorry,
never.
but yeah,
I looked at my
or
collection
GameStop.
like a while ago. I used to have a whole bunch of those. I really had to go out and buy the correct case for those games.
Man,
But yeah, like I don't have too many games. Like, but like some of them, I do have a few because it's just too expensive right now. Like,
yeah.
it's so expensive. So I just can't. Especially when I'm gonna play them, because like if I play them, that's not an issue. I'd have to buy a sealed copy,
And then you gotta
with
buy
it,
an unsealed
right?
copy. Yeah.
It's too expensive.
So last night, Tyree goes, "Yeah, I don't know if I should buy it or not. I don't know if I should buy it or not." And then he goes, "Oh shit! I accidentally clicked it. My fingers, like I bought it. Like it was an accident. Like
my fingers slipped, bro. Like what?
He was like, my fingers slipped. It was at just little 340 for Sacred Stones.
My finger slips all the time when it comes to some nice ass clothes. I'll tell you that. So,
Yeah, exactly. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like,
especially at nighttime. Nighttime, I buy some crazy shit. I don't know what it is.
Like,
damn.
Yeah, I play so many games. You said some of my favorite series I played, or
yeah, but just in general, yeah. What are we were talking about RPGs, so we'll
my
talk
favorite
about RPGs.
series of all time is the Tales of series. It's,
yes. So you're excited for Tales of Arise coming out in like a couple weeks?
Yeah, I played demo like a few times, like a lot of times actually.
What system did you play?
But yeah, I got PS5. Mm-hmm.
Oh, you got a PS5. You rich.
I got that day one. I like through an Amazon link like that. I don't know if you follow him on Twitter. His name is Wario64. He posted an affiliate link when it dropped, which like a backdoor link to the Amazon website, and that's how I got it.
Shit.
Oh,
yeah,
shit.
I still don't have a PS5. Although there's nothing that I want to play on it until now.
It's literally just upgraded PS4. Like for a while, it's just a PS4 that runs like a little bit faster. That's basically what it was.
Is Tales of Arise? Is it dropping on PC?
It's also on 4. Yeah, I think it's on PC. I think it's PC. I know it's on PS4, Xbox, and PS5.
If it's not on PC, I don't have a shot at getting it.
I'm pretty sure it's on PC. It's rare that
I have a PS4, but I wouldn't play it on PS4.
Oh yeah, like I'd definitely play it on PC or PS5 or something.
Yeah, I'm hoping that it just runs on PC.
Like Tales of series, because I own every Tales of game that ever exists, even the Japanese ones. Like,
damn, you own every single one? Wow,
that's dope.
Yeah.
So what's your favorite one?
Yeah, what is your favorite?
So my favorite is Abyss, but my favorite characters are in Vesperia. Like,
okay,
Vesperia is the one with Yuri as the main character.
Vesperia,
right?
Yuri is my favorite protagonist by far.
Yo, so Vesperia, I actually haven't beaten Vesperia yet, but I bought the re-release on Nintendo Switch, and that game is fucking fun.
Vesperia,
I gotta get back to it. I really gotta get back to it.
It's like one of the better battle systems, but Abyss overall is my favorite one.
Yeah, I love Abyss. I love Symphonia though. Symphonia is my favorite. Lloyd with the
Symphonia is everyone's favorite.
Yeah,
that's everyone's favorite.
It's so good. Such a good game.
Symphonia is really good. Symphonia 2 is abysmal, but Symphonia 1 is like.
I know. Why do I have such a bad? I don't have a really good memory of Symphonia 2.
Symphonia 2 wasn't good for like. There's a lot of reasons why it wasn't good. Like, it's like the battle system was like clunky. The monster system they had in there was not good. Like, you introduced the old cast, which the levels were capped on them. There's a lot of problems.
Yeah.
I'm not even going to say have you played it, because I know you've played it, but what do you think about, I haven't played it yet, but I have it on my PC, Tales of, I think it's Berseria?
Tales of Berseria?
I think so, yeah. There's too many areas.
So that one's alright. It's better than Zestiria, but it's like a bad... So, like, it's funny, they released it in, like, a weird order, because Berseria takes place before Zestiria, but they released Zestiria first. So, like, if you have just getting into the series now, you should play Berseria first and Zestiria, but Berseria is not bad, but it's not, like, it doesn't stand out from...
That's the one with the girl with the arm that, like, transforms to a big-ass claw?
Yep, that's that one.
I played the first 10 hours of that.
I heard about that. I heard a lot of people don't really like Zestiria.
Zestiria, in my opinion, like, it's down there with Gendia, and with like how bad the game is. Like, Zestiria is not good.
But I heard Berseria is a lot better. So I never even bought Zestiria, but I did buy Berseria. I hate the fact I don't like how similar the names are.
Yeah, I can't actually understand what the fuck you guys are talking about. Like, I
fucking hate how similar the names are.
Vesperia, venereal disease, Berseria. Like, I'm just hearing a lot of shit. I don't know what's going on right now. I'm just listening.
Like, Zestiria is like, I didn't have to force myself through it, but it's the only Tales games where I didn't sit down for long spans of time and just play it because I had to because most other Tales games I could do that, or most other games in period, I could do that for.
Do you think the Tales of Arise is going to be good based on the demo?
So from the battle system's different. It's like a good amount different. They there are parts that can be abused, like I told you already, but I would hope you aren't able to on higher difficulty because like obviously you're only able to play for like 30 minutes of the game. Like and it's only just battle system mainly, but I don't know anything about the story. I've watched 0 trailers about the story. I have no clue what it's about. Going from the battle system, it's not button mashing, I will say that. You will die if you do that. So
okay, that's actually very good for a Tales game because usually I can get by with just demon fanging everything in a game.
At least on high difficulties. I know on a lot of games, like if you play on a high difficulties like Mania, it's really hard to button mash. It seems like it's gonna be pretty good. The graphics look really nice. A lot of detail that you can tell a lot was put into the game. So I'm looking forward to it. I know like a good amount of people aren't really super hyped for it, but I am because I'm a huge Tales fan. So
I feel like it's slightly low key though. I just found out that it's releasing September 9th. I feel like when I called you last week, like I didn't even know that it was coming out.
Yeah, it is. It is a little low key.
Yeah, they haven't put like a whole bunch of like new because honestly when Berseria and stuff came out, there was more about that than like this game. So I don't know. Like I don't know the reason for it.
Yeah, I saw Tales of Arise. They talked about it a couple months ago. I want to say maybe at E3 or something, but then I haven't really seen much about it since.
Yeah, they haven't released too much about it. Like unless you follow their specific channels, you probably won't see too much about it. So
yeah, there's not a lot of promotion.
But what was the other game series?
You said you said you played even the Japanese only Tales of games. So I wanted to ask because I know you said you love Fire Emblem, and the first 6 Fire Emblems were released only in Japan. Have you played any of those?
I played one of them. I haven't played many of the international only Fire Emblem games. I played like 1 or 2 of them, but they were like so long ago.
Yeah, but you mainly played the like the US releases.
I played all.
Which is fine. That's how most people are, right?
I played all the US releases. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like,
and your favorite one out of those you said is Path of Radiance?
Yeah, that it's either that or Awakening because I just played like it, but like. Because like Path of Radiance was my favorite before I played Awakening, so that's why I got it sealed. But then I played Awakening, and that one's really good.
Awakening's really good. That game, for anybody that doesn't know, Fire Emblem was a pretty niche franchise, and it didn't sell super well. By the time Fire Emblem Awakening was being made, they basically thought Awakening was going to be the last one. They were like, "This is going to be the last Fire Emblem. Like, we're not making any more. Like, this is it." And so when they made Fire Emblem Awakening, they put everything into it.
Yeah, they put a lot
song, and they just put so much juice into it. And then it got good promotion, and it ended up selling incredibly well that it revived the series. And then we've gone on to have Fire Emblem is now one of Nintendo's big series that people know of now. So
you can tell because they have fucking 11 characters in Smash.
Fuck yeah!
It's funny every time a lot of people play when we play with my friends in Smash, they just ask who are these characters. They just don't. A lot of them don't play Fire Emblem, so they just don't know. Oh yeah, another favorite series is my Persona. I don't know if Kenny or Frazier, if you guys have played it.
I've messed with Persona, but like I was saying the other day, so on my stream I planned on playing every Persona game. For example, when Kingdom Hearts 3 came out, we played every single solitary Kingdom Hearts game leading up to KH3 on the stream to play KH3. And so we wanted to do something similar for Persona and a couple other games. But we never got the chance to. And then Persona 5 was supposed to be streamed by my partner. But stuff happened, work, blah, blah, blah. He didn't get around to it. But
that'd be a fun series. Like Persona is like a really 5 got a lot of people into the series because that's the most modern one. Yeah. So like Persona 4 and was released for the Vita and the PS2. Persona 3, especially a lot of people never played Persona 1 because they're like PSP, PS1. So like a lot of people
I got into Persona through Persona 4 Arena, the fighting game.
Oh, okay, all right.
That's how. So yeah, I didn't follow Persona all that much, but for example, for the PS3, I owned every single fighting game that was released on the PS3. I had every fighting game you could have that was on the PS3. So, because I was just really into fighting games and I liked having them all. Me and my friend Cairo did a lot of that, and just we liked playing all these different fighting games. So anyway,
is that where Third Strike was on?
Arena. Third Strike wasn't. Third Strike came out in arcades, obviously, but then it was on like I think Dreamcast and maybe PS1 or PS2.
Oh, okay.
It got re-released on PS3, but
I feel like I was playing it on. I don't know why I feel like I was playing it on PS3. Maybe I was.
But yeah, Persona 4 Arena was super fun.
3 and 4 in general are like really good. Like all of them are good, to be honest. Like, so if someone said like X is my favorite, I wouldn't like drive a knife to their heart. But like, yo, like, you must die. Like they're all really good. So besides that, though,
you mess with Shin Megami Tensei?
Yeah, I just started messing with that recently.
Yeah, fuck those games.
I know the most recent one got like a lot of backlash, but like, I mean,
if you like a challenge, play Shin Megami Tensei games.
Oh yes, 100%. Like a lot of people complain about Persona being too easy. It's like, all right, go play Shin Megami.
Yes, if you think something is too easy, go play Shin Megami Tensei Nocturne and Digital Devil Saga. Play those.
Yeah, those are some of the hardest games I'll play. Like in terms of difficulty, it's like I don't play too many games. Well, like because like for me, obviously a game will be difficult. You turn difficulty up to like the highest setting, but like when I judge a difficulty for a game, I judge it on normal because that's the baseline difficulty for everybody. Yep. So like when I play, I always play it on normal first. I don't like 99% of the time. So like just judge like how hard a game is going to be, and those games are like up there.
And I know I've spoken to you about this a lot because you'll play a game on normal at first, but then you go really crazy and put it at the highest difficulty, specifically with like Kingdom Hearts.
I do normal, then jump to the highest difficulty.
Yes, like you're not. You'll go back and play the whole thing on the highest difficulty and fucking beat every boss.
I'm not a challenge. Like I want to die to these bosses. I don't want to just play these. I want to die to these bosses.
Yeah,
like, I need these bosses.
I agree. I do something similar. I almost never play on normal though. But if a game has, let's say, let's use Kingdom Hearts. Somebody said Kingdom Hearts. Kingdom Hearts has beginner, normal, hard, and then proud, and then they have critical, right? Yep. I'll typically play on proud, and I'll save critical for my second playthrough.
That might have... All right, so Kingdom Hearts, but that might have been my most challenging, like one of my most top 3, the Final Cut bosses and critical. Those might have been one of the most challenging.
They are something special. Have you played... Which ones are you talking about, Cage 2 or Cage 3?
Just 3 Final Cut bosses, like on critical.
They are something else.
I spent like a span of like 2 weeks trying to beat all of them on critical. Like
I can tell you, have you played the Cage 2 ones?
Yeah, I played all of the Kingdom Hearts games, every single one.
So
the
Cage 2. So to put in perspective, the Cage 2 critical mode secret bosses, all the data org plus lingering will. Yep. I beat all of them. I beat all of them in a single night on my stream.
Oh my god!
I beat them all in a single night. Right, that's 14 secret bosses. For Cage 3, it took me 7 hours just to beat Yuzora.
Okay? Exactly.
Well, like not even including everybody else. Wow. Like it took me multiple days.
Yeah, those bosses
to beat them all.
Well, the thing about those
7 hours for one boss, that's insane.
Yeah, now they didn't all take that long. Some I beat Luke sort of my first try. There's a couple I beat like within an hour.
Yeah, the easiest one for me was Riku or like Standard Ansem. Those were like the easiest for me.
Yeah, dude, fucking Xemnas. Oh my god, Xemnas was tripping.
With the whip,
see, it's funny. So like the DLC was actually made that hard in general, like at first, because people were complaining about Kingdom Hearts 3 being too easy.
Yeah.
So they turned it actually was so difficult because I don't know. Like they released a patch for it actually, to where like the patch actually makes it like infinitely easier for the patch because people were actually complaining about how hard it was.
That's crazy. Yeah, I remember a couple of bosses. I think Master Xehanort took me, I want to say 4 hours of just losing to beat him, and then Yuzora took me 7 hours. Like I remember when I fought Yuzora, it was its own stream. I'd beaten all the other secret bosses, and I go to fight Yuzora, and I'm fighting him, and then people in my chat were like, "You're not beating him tonight," because I guess people in my chat looked up how to do the fight, And they were like, you're not beating him tonight. I was like, I'm beating him tonight. It took me 7 hours to beat him, and I popped the fuck off when I did.
I have an unfortunate story of Yugioh. I remember when I first fought, I didn't know not to bring that coin when I fought Yugioh.
Oh my god!
And I got him down, and I had to pause the game for a minute because I was like, I had to register what happened.
Wait,
now.
what,
I was like,
what the fuck are you guys referencing? For the people who don't know,
when you're fighting Yugioh,
okay.
he has a move that he hits you with. It's like a tractor beam, and he steals items from you. He can steal your elixirs, he can steal your potions, whatever. So in Kingdom Hearts 3, they have an item called the Kupo coin. If the Kupo coin's in your inventory and you die, it's like an auto life. So it only works once. Once you die, you get auto life one time, and then the Kupo coin's gone. When you're fighting Yugioh, if he uses the tractor beam on you while you have the Kupo coin in your inventory, he steals it. So then if you kill Yugioh, he activates the Kupo coin and auto lifes.
That's ridiculous.
Yeah, it took me a while to register what happened. It's like, I beat him. You Kupo coin, and I was like, what?
How much life did it come back with?
It's like half or something. I forgot exactly.
That's wild. Yeah, that's
a
fucking
lot.
wild.
So when you also have to remember you're on critical, so like it's a lot of health. Every bar is a lot. So like
is something special. That fight is really hard, man. It's one of, but it feels so good when you beat it.
Oh yes, like it's like it reminded me back of like the Kingdom Hearts 1 bosses because like fighting Sephiroth Kingdom Hearts 1 was so hard.
We talked about that recently too. We said how hard Sephiroth in the first one is really difficult.
Right.
I know for a period of time, I know FF7, I'm pretty sure, way outsold Kingdom Hearts just in general, Kingdom Hearts 1. But I know for a period of time, I knew a lot of people who knew Sephiroth from Kingdom Hearts. Like, sure, a lot of people know him from Final Fantasy, but I feel like there's a generation of kids that know Sephiroth. It's like how there's a generation of kids that know Fred Flintstone from Fruity Pebbles. Right? Like, they never saw the Flintstones. Like, there's a generation of kids that know Sephiroth from Kingdom Hearts.
Kingdom Hearts had to come out over 10 years after Final Fantasy 7, I would think, right?
7 came out in 96, right? 96 or 97? And I think Kingdom Hearts 1 came out in 2003.
Okay, so
maybe 2002.
Okay, so almost a decade, not quite.
Yeah, something like that. But yeah, the Yugioh fight was really fun. Kingdom Hearts 3 was amazing.
Yeah, I played. That was like one of my other like favorite series. Unfortunately, I'm not the biggest fan of 3. I made that pretty vocal when it came out. I was really not a fan of 3 at all.
Especially for a 13-year wait, like they can
3. My thing with 3.
The other problem with 3 is like a lot of people, if you actually didn't play the phone game, you actually wouldn't know a lot was going on because I actually played the phone game.
That phone game is what kills Kingdom Hearts for me. I loved Kingdom Hearts. I love the series so much.
Too much of the story into that phone game.
Dude, he put so much of the story into some shitty ass phone game.
I never played the phone game. I don't know a single thing that happens in the phone game.
It actually explains like a lot of the backstory. Like basically, like the secret ending of Kingdom Hearts explains what's going on there. It explains like who what's the Mupo or the Kupo is that Sora talks to in the other world. It explains like a lot of backstory which you just won't know unless you play that game. Like,
There's too much. There's too much story in that fucking phone game.
It makes no sense why they did that because 99% of people are not just want to play a phone game. Like
you are the only 2 human beings I know who have played it.
Like I knew that when I found out they put a lot of story into it, I really had to download it.
No, I didn't. So what I did was I did not play it. So at first, because it's Kingdom Hearts, I remember at the time, this is when I was working with Verizon, I was out walking around and I downloaded it on my phone because I was like, whatever, I need something to kill time with. So I downloaded it to try to play it, and I did not like it. I uninstalled it. In order to, I literally just watched a YouTube video of all the story. I was like, let me just look up.
Do that though. A lot of people don't even know the phone game exists.
Yeah, that's what I did.
Honestly, until Kenny told me, I didn't even know it was a thing.
Like I don't. That's like one of the most like if they were intelligent, what they would have did is in like the 2.5 or like 1.5 releases, they should have released like a whole synopsis of it. Like
that phone game. But yeah, my problem with KH3, that plays a part, and also I think the game was fun. I had a lot of fun playing the game.
The gameplay was fine.
I enjoyed it all, but I don't feel like they delivered on a lot of the plot threads, mystery, and story they built up. Like They really did not deliver on.
Don't even joke. When Maleficent kept what is it, referencing the black box, and I didn't get that question answered, I want to throw out my controller.
Yeah, we got.
You kept referencing this since like the first 30 minutes into the game.
We're not going to get info on the black box for 10 years now. Like, it's going to be another 10 years before we find out what's
I was like, what is the black box? Like, because like most would show up, and be like, Sora, have you seen a black box? He'd be like, what is that? She'd be like, don't worry about it. And I'm just like, what? Someone explain this to me.
Yeah,
like,
it'll be 100 years before we find out what's in there. So,
yeah,
it's a letdown.
3 is not top of my list as far as RPGs. Like, I can tell you, like, I'm gonna just run through some of the ones, a lot of what series I played. I played through, I say Kingdom Hearts, Tales of. I played a lot of the Trails of Kiseki series. I don't know if you heard of them.
Oh, like Trails in the Sky and like Trails of Cold Steel.
Yeah, yep.
Dude, those games are fucking sick. Those are, oh my god.
I played all of those, including the Japanese ones, because like there was a group. There's a group who actually translated those. Actually,
I own all of the 3 Trails in the Skies game, and I'm so excited to go through. I just haven't had the time or the opportunity to like really sit down and play them. That's what's fucked up is there's always a new game coming out.
Yeah, Trail. So, I picked that series up recently, and that's like become one of my favorite RPG series, just because of like how good the whole series as a whole. Like,
that game has like really good world building. The characters are really well done. Like that, those are really good games, and they're pretty unknown. I don't know a lot of people that know what they are.
They actually aren't. They're like super niche, unfortunately, just because like it's like overshadowed. But
yeah,
they might be known more because like they're releasing the ones that are actually porting over the Tales of Azure and all of those in 2023, 2024. So
okay,
like besides that, I played like all the Xeno games, like Xenogears, Xenosaga, all of those.
Dude, I went through Xenogears and Xenosaga were games that I kind of just played passively when I was younger. I never beat any of them. I never owned any of them. They were just games that my friends had.
Xenogears was really good.
Like, yes, the Xenogears was. It's not even Xenosaga is not even the same. Even though I do like the first Xenosaga like a lot, Cosmos and Shion and all that.
Oh yeah,
but Xenogears is so fucking different, but so good. One of the most iconic RPGs I would say when I was growing up.
I played that sort of recently, like within the last like year or so. When I played it, I was like blown away, like how good it was.
Yeah. For me, the Xenoblade 1 and 2.
Xenoblade 1 and 2 are really good.
Like they are.
I still plan to play. At the top of my list of games to play right now is literally Xenoblade, the first one.
Yes,
it's at the absolute top of my list. Like I put it above everything else, and I said I'm going to play. Probably never will.
You suck the fuck
1,000%.
Yeah, and I heard there's a lot of content
because it feels like it's got a shit ton of content. It feels like the game just feels magical. Like when you play it, the characters, the world, the setting that you're in when you're running around, like it feels.
It's so really different. It's magical. Not like you won't feel like you're playing something else. Like especially when you get involved in the story, like.
It's very good. It's very good. Highly recommend Xenoblade 1.
Besides that, what else have I played?
I would sit down and watch you play the whole thing too. I'll just sit there and watch. Like
I played all of the Disgaea games.
Oh my god, I'm loving this. I'm loving this man more and more every day.
Kenny loves those.
Tyree.
If there was a platinum for 2, I would have gotten it when there was a PS2 because I literally did everything you could in 2.
My god, Tyree!
I put so many hours in that. Yeah.
So let me ask you this on Disgaea. I've played hundreds of hours of every Disgaea 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and D2.
Yep.
I have not even bought Disgaea 6 yet. It feels so disappointing to me.
I don't like how different it is because I've played it a good amount. I've
only played the demo, and I will buy it because I love the series, and I'm sure I'll be able to get sucked in and do stuff on it. But I'm gonna wait for it to go on sale, which I've never done before. I always buy Disgaea games the day they come out. I just love them. But
I got the special edition. I got the special edition of 6, and I played it, but it's good. But I don't know. I can't put my finger on it yet. But like, it's just not. I can't see myself like I don't know, like just sitting down and
no life in it like you did with Disgaea 2 or something.
Yeah, 2 was I could sit down for like 10 hours a day play that.
Is 2 your favorite?
Yeah, 2's my favorite.
2's your favorite. Adele, Rosalind. What makes 2 your favorite over the other ones?
I don't know, like 2, just for the fact that like it was like I'm trying to think like this. Obviously was not really a story, but just like the puzzle aspects and like then when
Well,
they
I do
introduced
think the story for 2 is
the
pretty
story
good.
was alright. The story
Yeah,
was decent for 2. I like how they also included Laharo, Etna, and all of them as cast
yeah,
for you to beat them. The grinding for it. Like I don't 2 just didn't feel super monotonous, and I really liked Adele, Rosalind, and all of them.
they're
Like the
pretty
whole
cool.
cast of characters for that. The Dark Sun system and all that in that
Yeah,
game. Like, that,
for
2 was just
anybody that
like
maybe doesn't know, because
unreal.
Deskai is pretty niche as well. Deskai is a strategy
Yep.
RPG,
It's like
similar
super
to
niche actually. Like,
yeah, similar to Final Fantasy Tactics or Fire Emblem. But yeah, it's a strategy RPG, but it's way over the top. It has a lot of jokes in it.
yep.
And the max level
It
is
breaks the fourth wall actually in that
9,999.
game as well.
Yeah, it breaks the fourth wall. It's a really over the top game. Crazy stats. Your stats are in like the millions and millions of numbers. You start
A
off
lot of
normal,
like
like level 1 with 20 attack, but by the end of the game, you have 20 million attack. It's fucking
a
crazy.
lot of grinding in that game. You want to beat like the post game content, like a lot of grinding. So
Yeah, my favorite one is just Deskai 1, just because.
that's okay. That's fair. Like this guy I won because Laharo is like my favorite overall
Yeah,
character. So
I love Deskai 1, but in terms of gameplay, it's definitely the most archaic.
mhm.
They've cleaned the gameplay a lot afterwards. Like Deskai 4's gameplay is amazing. Deskai 5 has some of the best gameplay of any Deskai, but in my
Yep.
opinion, has the worst story. Like I didn't
Yeah.
enjoy the story for Deskai 5, but it was insanely fun.
Yeah, I like all of these guys. Like none of them
Yeah,
are like bad to me.
I agree.
Let me see. What are some other series? I played all the Yeast games, like Yeast, like Origins.
Oh yeah,
Like
those are games I've never played. I know what they are, but I've
there's
never
a
played them.
yeah, there's a lot of games for them, but like they're like really good. They're just scattered over different systems. That's the only issue of those games. Like this, like PSP, Vita, 3, 2, like 4. So
Real quick, let me interject. So we are now approaching we're over 2 hours now. So we have to call the episode, but what do you say to coming back and kind of continuing this conversation?
I'm perfectly down with that, honestly. So
Okay, because I realize that this can go on forever now that we're on the video game
oh
topic,
yeah,
and like we're really getting into like the meat and potatoes of all the video games that you like. So I don't want to go another 2 hours and then it's like holy shit, it's a
yeah, that
4 hour
is fair.
episode.
Like if someone clicks on a thing and say 4 hours,
Yeah, like
Yeah.
as long as the Snyder cut of that was the Justice League movie or whatever. So before we get too far, I do want to wrap this up and then have you come back for another episode so that we can continue the conversation about all the games and stuff that you play, because I too have actually played Disgaea with Laharo. It's the only Disgaea game I've played and stuff, but
yeah, that conversation going for hours, especially like between me and Kenny and all these other games. Like,
yeah.
Yes.
All right, well, let me shout out our patrons really quick. And we do have some listener letters, but we're going to read them on our next episode, which will now have a guest. So that way it's just back to our original format with me and Kenny. But for now, with the guest on, we're going to save listener letters for episodes without them. As for patrons, so thank you to the guys who subscribe to us on Patreon. We have Xavier, Garen, Quest, Nathaniel, Austin, and Connie. We appreciate all of you guys, and we will shout you out on every single episode. But if you guys want to support the channel, please...
we stand.
Yep. If you guys want to support the channel, please go to our Patreon, check out the tiers. We have an entry level tier that's $3. So if you guys just want to help out, it's great. If not, also great. This is a free content. We're going to put it out twice a week, no matter what. And we appreciate you guys who listen to us and just spread the word. Thank you for that. But yeah, it was great having you, Tyree, and we're going to have you back.
Yes.
It seems like all of our guests are going to be.
fun.
Yeah, we're going to have
Like,
recurring guests because there's no way that these conversations can only go 2 hours. They're just so.
Oh yeah, I kind of realized that going into it. So
This is definitely going to be a callback type of situation with you. So we look forward to having you back. But I'm going to end this one here, and then we will get you rescheduled for another one.
sounds good to me.
All right.
Sounds
Thank
good.
you guys.